again. Don't think I've ever felt so warm. All my roots sprouted into split ends. The smell of linen stains my arms. I think I finally understand it now. Oh, life's much too long to not fall in love, but much too short to keep waiting around. We run ourselves into the ground. Oh, I'm terrified to tell you. Ooh, but deep down I think you already know. If patience is a virtue, ooh, then you're the greatest person I've ever known. Ooh. to not fall in love, but much too short to keep waiting around. We run ourselves into the ground. Oh, I'm terrified to tell you. Ooh, but deep down I think you already know. If patience is a virtue,
the right screen now. Hello, Orbeez! Speeding at Seeds VZ. Sorry, I was waiting to see if the music was going to end, like, you know, transition out really nicely, but it appears that the song is a lot longer than I anticipated. But I'm here now. I hope you guys can hear me all right. I actually switched the background music to be Alohi's Summertide album. I've been listening to Alohi a lot recently. Let me know if the music is too loud or too little volume, so that I can fix it. But yes, you can hear me? Okay, great. Sounds good on Twitch end. Okay, great. I will quickly do attendance. Hello NYC Leprechaun, hello Matt, hello Kingwin, hello Astral, everybody say happy birthday to Astral, super exciting stuff. Hello Stella, hello Andrew, hello Warpy, hello Demon, hello Komi, hello Tabitha. This song slaps, yeah, Alohi is cooking a lot. Maybe I'll turn the music down a little bit. How's work going? It's been going good. I feel like this week's been a lot easier on me since I am not traveling. Unlike the previous few weeks where I was getting a little bit sick, but if you guys can hear my voice now, I'm in pretty good condition, so that's great. Hello Dan, hello Zilla, hello Arky, hello Liam, hello Inferlazeboy, and then on the Twitch side, hello Gimme Stuff, hello Anonymous. Yes, everyone go wish Astral happy birthday. Yeah, no, Give Me Stuff asks, are you going to talk about white holes so that we can clip it and make Kim lose her mind? You could do that, though. I don't know that much about white holes, but if we have some time at the end, we should definitely get to it. That would be super nice. Oh, hello Bacon, welcome first time chatter. Yeah, no, Kim is great. We were just talking about trying to do another collab, actually. So, yeah, no, we've been cooking recently. Speaking of cooking, before the stream starts, I wanted to quickly share some really exciting stuff. First, thank you so much for the art recently. This was a collab done by Warpy, Eggy, Astral, and Gaussian Surface from... That's like the variation from like our trolley problem stream, sort of, but it's just a bunch of friends. You can see Nep here, and then, oh, I realized that I'm like circling that with my mouse, but you guys can't see my mouse. Nep, Phi, Psy, Mylan, me, and Millennium. It's so adorable. I absolutely love it. So thank you so much. Another piece of really brilliant art recently has been this one by none other than Eggy Nugget. It's me, like, standing in front of a sign, and it says, like, first degree misinformation. This is a reference to my Kerbal Space Program games where I've been... there's no misinformation. Zasa is 100% fatality-free. I promise you. Eggy is truly the GOAT. Yeah, no, that is definitely true. Yeah, I've been really enjoying this art recently, so thank you so much. And then, of course, because the auditions have not closed yet, I need to advertise this once again. I'm part of this group called Vtheorem. If you would like to be part of us, then please audition. Auditions close at the end of this month, and this is actually my last week before I'm going on a 1.5 week break, so by then, the applications will be closed, so please be sure to audition if you have the chance. Super exciting stuff. Yes. Alright. Without much further ado, let me pull up the slides. Not the slides, the Astrobites. Oop. Yes. What felonies has Z committed today? None, hopefully, other than maybe drinking a little bit too much coffee. Well, okay, actually, I haven't been drinking coffee recently. I've been drinking tea. I was recently gifted a thing of, like, lavender loose leaf tea, and so I've been mixing it with, like, the afternoon Fortnum and Mason tea container that I got from, like, a few years ago. And so I just mix lavender, like, loose leaf tea with afternoon tea, and it gives this like really strong black tea flavor. And then you basically shake up, like, I kid you not, you take the oat milk and you like shake it up, and then you dump it on the top so it's like nice and foamy, and it creates like a London fog. So I've been drinking that recently. Z and Kim collabs are great. Yeah, no, she is amazing. Kim uses she, her pronouns, right? Maybe Give Me Stuff can verify that. I realized that I don't know if I've ever confirmed that. Yes, okay. I was gonna say, I was like, I am 99% sure, but in the 1%, this would be a very awkward situation. Okay, great, yes. I stopped by Kim's stream like a few days ago where she was talking about how her perspective on like relationships has changed over time. It was an interesting stream to say the least. Yay, jail for Z! What? No! Hello world, hello secret. Hello Aleph? Oh my god, wait, before we get started, I do have to mention this. Oh wait, let me cross off the stuff I've already mentioned. So, I put this in the pinned comment, but this is like absolutely beautiful. Let me just show this real quick. Oh, actually, maybe I should mute it because I think the music is not copyright free. But Aleph made this beautiful thing, this video in Blender, and I like immediately posted it because it's so good. It's Black Hole Sun, won't you come? I don't know what the lyrics are after this, but it's like, imagine the song playing. It's so good. So thank you, Aleph. This was actually, I didn't realize you could do a collaborative video with shorts, but it's great. So go give it an update if you enjoyed it, and let me go shout out Aleph. Go subscribe. Actually, Aleph just recently debuted on Pi Day, if I recall correctly. So let me add your YouTube, and I will also shout you out on... Oh. Aleph Moo VT? Question mark? Yes. Okay. Yes. And I just shouted you out on Twitch as well. That black hole does have the lensing effect. This is so cool. Also, I don't know how you did the facial expressions because this looks so elegant. This looks like if I ever had an anime, this is what the opening would be. Z, can you talk about the thumbnail and you looking creepy? Oh my god, yes, that's another beautiful work of art. Let me pull it up real quick. Yeah, that artwork was made by the birthday boy, Astral. Yeah, let me pull this up. Yeah, and then I just took some of the figures from the Astrobites that we're going over today. I actually don't even know what this is, but we're gonna be going over this, so we will learn very, very, very shortly. But this, like, shadowy figure was made by Astral, and I just thought it would be really funny to have. And you get spun like cotton candy. Yeah, black hole spin. I also realized that the title of this stream is kind of hard to read. Should I change it to a normal font? I'm not sure. I'm gonna turn the music volume up a little bit, like a smidge. No need. I think it's kind of funny. It looks like very spiky. Impossible to read on my end. What does it say? It says black hole sun, but like very distorted. Maybe I'll change it on the Twitch side then. I'll just say black hole sun. Oh, I don't know if that actually changed. I thought it was more cuneiform. That's actually so fair. I do want to do another stream for cuneiform and or hieroglyphs or something like that. I think that would be really fun. Me when the sun is a black hole. Well, we'll be reading about this very shortly. Let me know if the music is too loud. I'm really worried that it is. It updated? Yeah, I just changed it. Was sad I missed that. Yeah, no, it's been one of the more popular streams on my channel. Oh, speaking of other videos that you should check out. Sorry, I've been doing a lot of self-promo, but then I promise we're gonna go into the actual content itself. How am I supposed to show this? Okay, so if you haven't seen this video already, well, not me. Chet made a video and then invited me to join as a collaborator. It's basically the stream that we did where we analyzed the CEO burger videos using machine learning, but like into a condensed like 26-minute video. It is such a fun watch. BGM is good. Okay, thank you. Oh. So, this has been a really fun video. Alright, that's enough self-promo for now. It is about time for us to actually delve into the article. OMG Chad, have you heard about this super cool science VTuber called SysG Altair? Yep, that's me. That's me. Dark Star was a cooler name. A shame it fell out of style. Yeah, no, that's such a sick name. You gotta stay hydrated. Oof. I got like a giant bottle of like ice water. My voice has been a little bit sick, but it's been getting better, which is good. I've also been taking like a ton of like anti-congestion medicine to like try to prevent myself from getting sick, because now is like the worst time to be getting sick. And I think it's actually been working, which is good. So, orbeez, definitely stay healthy, stay hydrated. Alright, without much further ado, let me copy and paste this link So, Astrobite. Oh. Let me have a cute emoji with that. Enjoy the nice music in the background too. Oop. Come on. Come on. Replace pin message. Alright, there we go. Alright, we're gonna pin that. Alright. Let's get started. Buy a saline nebulizer. There was one period when I was really young where I actually had pneumonia for a few months, and it totally knocked me out. As in, like, I had to miss, like, several weeks of school for it. And I had to, like, get my, like, chest x-rayed and stuff like that because they were worried that my, like, lungs were filling up with liquid. So yeah, I don't do very well when it comes to, like lung-related diseases. So my goal is to get as little sick as possible. Alright, well, we should get started on reading! This music is so good. So banger. So the sun turning black, the sun's not... Oh my god. That was the craziest comment I read. Alright, so today we are reading an article called Black Hole Sun, Won't You Come Help Solve the Little Red Dot Mystery by Anelia Anderson. And I'm sure many of you guys have already gotten the spiel already, but Astrobites is this amazing platform where astrophysics papers are translated into a lay-friendly form. And it's really great, especially if you want to get started into reading papers more regularly. They basically break down all of the important concepts and deliver the results in a really presentable manner. And yeah, this has been like the 12th like Astrobite stream or something like that, so it's a lot of fun. And so at the top here is actually the link to the original paper. So it's actually called A Remarkable Ruby. Absorption in dense gas rather than evolved stars drives the extreme Balmer break of a little red dot at redshift 3.5. And we got all the authors here. So yeah, so if you want to read the original article, it's linked here as well. Alright, so let's get started. As the year comes... Oh. Alright, let me make chat a little bit smaller. Boop. Alright. As the year comes to an end, here's one more box to check off your 2025 bingo card. Black hole suns, predicted by Soundgarden in 1994, may be an astrophysical reality. Wait, I'm actually curious what that link is. It's a link to a YouTube video. Oh my god, there's no way! Predicted by Soundgarden, and I didn't think of, like, Soundgarden, like, the artist. I was like, oh, wow, that's, like, probably some, like, astrophysicist dude who, like, made a prediction. and so they clicked it. I straight up was like, I even like closed the tab because I was worried it would be like a research paper, and sometimes like it automatically logs into my institution or something like that, and so that's why I like turned it off too. Amazing. This song is great, by the way. It was the music behind the really nice YouTube short. Soundgarden does sound like one of those scientist names. It sounds like a common last name. Z needs an affiliate link to Astrobites. See, I don't know if they're active on any platforms. Maybe someday we can get a sponsorship to Astrobites. That is so funny. The authors of today's paper propose the existence of these objects, more generally named black hole stars, which could alleviate some confusion surrounding the elusive little red dots. So let's actually take a look at what these red dots are in the first place. The Little Red Dot Mystery. Soon after JWST observations went live, astronomers began noticing an unexpected abundance of bright, red, extremely compact objects in the early universe, which became known as Little Red Dots, or LRDs. Their other distinguishing features are highlighted in Figure 1. Broad hydrogen alpha emission lines and a V-shaped spectral energy distribution, which act as clues to what these little red dots could be. Alright, so basically there have been a lot of these little red dots, and this has been a really big mystery. Definitely one of the most active areas of research in astrophysics right now. Extremely compact. I thought black hole suns were supposed to be the size of hypergiants. I think there might be a diagram later on that shows how large, but I think the extremely compact objects that they're referring to here is in reference to the little red dots, which are quite small, like, I wrote little red. So little red dots. Compared to the galaxies that you might anticipate in the early universe, we're seeing a lot of these guys. And we still don't understand why. Good morning, Z. What's going on? We are reading about black hole suns. So let's take a look as to what these little red dots could be. So two major theories arose to explain their size, color, and spectral properties. The first are dusty active galactic nuclei. Active galactic nuclei, or AGN, are supermassive accreting black holes which emit extremely luminous jets. Broad hydrogen alpha emission lines like those seen in the spectra of these little red dots are a typical signature of AGN, so these black holes. And the steep red region of the SED could be explained by the presence of the dust scattered light. So this is still pretty technical, but to basically translate this once again is scientists use spectra, or the light of an object, to basically interpret everything about an object, because that's basically all the clues that we have. We can't go visit the object and take a scoop of it and then measure it in our labs of what the object is made out of, right? And so what we do is that we look at the light instead. And what this little section here is telling us is that when we took a deep dive into the light of these little red dots, they have signatures that would be very typical for supermassive black holes. And specifically, they have this red region, which is explained by the presence of dust scattering blue light. However, AGN also produce X-ray emission, which has not been observed from the little red dots, and we're not sure how black holes could grow so large early in the universe. So that is basically the challenge to this model. The second possible idea for the little red dots are massive dense galaxies. The redness could arise from some sort of stellar population in a very massive but compact galaxy. Either evolved stars that are intrinsically red, or bursty star formation with lots of reddening dust. Both fit the V-shaped spectra, but in some cases the emission lines don't match. Though such massive galaxies in this early universe would be surprising, this theory requires less modifications to theories of galaxy and black hole growth. Yes. Wait, is this about the hypothetical objects that are black hole stars? Yes, 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 this is what this article is talking about. LRD, I always thought might be infrared stars burning iron, maybe. Interesting. The thing is, it would be hard for these to be stars, because even though they're little red dots, they aren't as little as stars. And the way that we can also know this is that those stars would have to be a specific size, and we can use the light from these objects to also determine their distance. I've also heard another theory that these objects could be globular clusters or clusters of stars, though I think this one is less accepted. So let's take a look as to why this black hole star theory has been suggested. Neither scenario is a perfect match, so the nature of these little red dots remains a major debate in astrophysics. Yes. It's aliens? That would be crazy. I unfortunately do not think it is aliens, but I do hope there are aliens out there. Isn't iron burning an energy loss? Yes. Yeah, also iron burning would be basically at the end of a star's lifetime, so it would not live very long past that point. So today's paper begins with the discovery of a peculiar little red dot by the JWST Ruby survey. I love these little survey names, they're so fun. Shown in figure 1, this little red dot is named the Cliff due to its exceptionally strong Balmer break in the near infrared. So that's a feature of the spectra. I wonder if they show that. Yes, okay, they do. We'll take a look at that in a second, which is over 2 times greater than those of any previously discovered little red dot. These Balmer breaks indicate the presence of hydrogen atoms with electrons that have been ionized to the second energy level or higher by high energy photons, which usually originates from galaxy stellar emission. However, recent arguments in the little red dot debate have shown that they can also appear when extremely dense absorbing gas clouds are near a supermassive black hole's accretion disk. To determine what this bizarre object could be, the authors first compared the Cliff's spectrum and spectra to the variety of existing little red dot models. Okay, so let's see if I can pull this up in a separate tab. Ooh. Alright, I think this is the best we can do. Oop. Yes, so this is the object that they're looking at here. I mean, it looks very interesting to me. I wonder what that is on the side there. It looks maybe like another object going on? But what are they talking about? The steep red-shaped component. So let's see what the figure caption says. The orange points show the observations and the black line is the spectrum of the Cliff. Okay, the other colored lines are the spectra of 4 other with strong Balmer breaks. The Balmer breaks are steep inclines in spectra. Yes, that occur here. Yes. The Cliff's Balmer breaks. Okay. Okay, so yes. So they're comparing the Cliff, which is this black line here. So this is the light, the flux, the energy of the light with respect to the wavelength. And so they're comparing this black line here, which is the Cliff, to other galaxies with strong Balmer breaks. And they're seeing that the one for the Cliff is like, I mean, this is a huge Balmer break. Hello, Galileo. Welcome first time chatter. So it is a big little red dot. Well, this says nothing about the size. This is just looking at the light. And what it's showing here is that there's this huge break in the spectrum that is going on here. I actually have a live lecture that I've wanted to do now for weeks, but I haven't gotten around to doing it, on how this works. It's called spectral energy distribution fitting. The way that it works is that these orange dots here represent observations, and from this limited information, scientists have to fit what this complete distribution of light with respect to wavelength would be. And this is really, really hard, because you need to make a lot of assumptions, and there's so little information that you can get from just, what, like 7-8 filters, versus the entire spectrum, which is extrapolating every point at every possible wavelength. But by doing that, we can then extract all of the properties of the galaxy, such as its age, such as its entire star formation history, its mass, its distance, all of these very important parameters, in astrophysics. Hello, Nova! I love your username. Just woke up from my slumber after getting back from radio astronomy lab. Well, that's super, super cool. You're in for a treat because you're in for more astrophysics tonight. And so they're also showing here that this Cliff also appears to have a very V-shaped component. What I'm wondering about is that it looks like it... I'm not sure how they got this V-shape. I'm like looking closely and trying to figure this out. It just looks like me like that they just like drew these lines. Let's see. Distinctive V-shaped spectral energy distribution. I'm not sure how they did that. Steep red component of the... Because, okay, so this is like a continuation of the wavelength axis here. And it would go down here. Oh, gotta go sleep, have a nice stream. Thank you so much, Astro, for joining. Happy birthday. Thank you for also helping me build the thumbnail with the beautiful artwork you made. Yeah. Steep red-shaped component of the V-shaped SC, the spectra. I'd be so for real with you. These observations here don't look too different from this light blue point, which is supposed to be another galaxy. I'm not sure what they mean about the V-shaped. Yeah, I'm not convinced. Maybe there will be more details about this in the paper. Let me see if I can... Let me open the paper and check. Sorry, I need to close my window every time I open up a paper because sometimes it jump scares me with the name of my institution. Which would not be very pleasant. So this is from Figure 1. Okay, so that V-shaped thing was not in the original paper. So I'm not sure what's going on here, but maybe there'll be more details about this later. Let's keep on reading. They examined a galaxy stars only model, a galaxy plus AGN model, and galaxy plus AGN models with different amounts of dust. So they use different models to compare. An example model is shown in Figure 2. Even when tuning their models to include unrealistic amounts of dust attenuation, none can reproduce the steepness of the Balmer break or amount of red light. Additionally, the cliff is very bright but also very compact, so the best models included would... A lot of massive stars, but packing so many stars together would lead to star collisions. These stellar collisions could produce X-rays which aren't observed. Therefore, none of the standard little red dot models are sufficient to describe the cliff, so what is next? So basically they have this big mystery here of they don't know what's causing that steep break shown here. Or the amount of red light of this galaxy. Hello, Misadventures in Astro. So the galaxy, the black hole model compared to the observations of the cliff, showed in gray and black. So the gray, okay, so Prospector is a model that's used for spectral fitting, which is what I mentioned about trying to extrapolate the entire energy distribution with respect to wavelength from just the limited observations. And so the blue line shows the stellar component, and this model can't reproduce the big break in the spectrum. Okay. So right now we're at this point where they have this funky object called the cliff, and they don't understand what causes its light to look like that. And so now, here comes the black hole star, I guess. A schematic of a black hole star. The central AGN's accretion disk heats an extremely dense shell of gas such that it emits light similar to a star. So this is literally what a black hole star would look like. There's a black hole at the center, but its accretion disk is so energetic that it actually ionizes the gas around it and starts fusion like a literal star. This is actually crazy to me. If something like this were to exist, that would actually be insane. So oddly, the cliff's Balmer break isn't just massive, it also looks suspiciously similar to that of an individual star. Specifically, the hot, dense gas of a star's atmosphere. This, combined with black hole signatures, hinted that the cliff could be a black hole star. Interesting. Black hole stars were first hypothesized in 2006. Wait, that's crazy to me. So the song actually existed before the actual star. Yes, 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 yes. Starts jumping up and down, yes. But none have been discovered yet. The general idea is that if a black hole were at the center of a sphere of a very dense gas, the accretion disk would heat and ionize the gas, just like nuclear fusion in the core of a star heats and ionizes the outer layers. The resulting shape of the black hole star spectrum from the gas would be nearly identical to that of a star, only much brighter. Is this article linked to in the description? It is linked in the pinned message on the YouTube chat. I'm pretty sure the star physically existed first. The real question is then, how would the black hole come to get to this? Like, how would it go there inside the star? I feel like that would just be like a very destructive process. Plus, Plus, supermassive black holes tend to engulf stars, not the other way around. So the black hole star model also resolves inconsistencies with the theory that little red dots are black holes. First, it removes the unrealistic dust modeling problem because both the Balmer brick and red color could result from dense absorbing gas instead. Second, scattering via the dense gas could simply explain the lack of X-rays. Finally, a black hole accreting such dense gas would have more fuel to grow quickly, explaining how it could become so large much early on. Much more work needs to be done to hash out the details, but for now a black hole star seems to be the best explanation for the cliff's puzzling properties. At the very least, the cliff acts as the strongest evidence to date that some of the little red dots emission originates from AGN rather than stars, and we'll all have the same song stuck in our heads while we wonder about it. I mean, I think this is an amusing idea, but I'm not convinced. I'm actually, wait, let me go to the paper and see if they mention the... That's crazy. They say in the paper, we argue that... Sorry, I'm not screen sharing. Wait. Which permits Oh, shoot, this is open access. Great, wait, hold up. Let me... Okay. Okay, great, wait, yeah, let me just screen share the paper, yeah. Okay, so this is the original paper. I just saw this bottom part where it says open access and Creative Commons attribution license. We love Creative Commons. So it says here, we argue that the Balmer brick emission lines and H-alpha absorption line are instead most plausibly explained by a black hole star scenario in which the dense gas surrounds a powerful ionizing source. The cliff is... I feel like this paper is more generous when it comes to the hypothesis that they're making. The cliff is the clearest evidence to date that at least some of the little red dots are not ultra-dense massive galaxies, are instead powered by a central ionizing source embedded in dense absorbing gas. So I guess they say that it could be explained by the black hole star scenario, but yeah, no, this is so funky to me. Oh, look, they have the photo of the cliff that's going on here. I'm just going down to the conclusions. So typically when I read papers, I actually read the abstract first and I read the conclusion, and then if it's really relevant to what I'm doing, then I read through like the methodology and the results. I'm pretty sure the star physically existed first for the song. I mean, yeah, for Black Hole Sun, I mean, that would be kind of freaky if it didn't. Are rock stars or music writers actually astrophysicists? Well, maybe Soundgarden or Soundgarden thought of the black hole star idea first. I mean, they did in 1995 instead of 2006, right? So the dust coalesced around the black hole. Well, supermassive black holes have dust disks around them. They're accretion disks. And they are very high energy, very, very high energy systems. And so this is saying that that could get so high energy to the point that it actually starts ionizing and starts fusion. It's a really cool idea still. I remember watching a video about the presenting black holes as a theoretical idea, and now we found an object that at least some astrophysicists think might be them. Yeah, no, this is super cool. I mean, if it is right, I mean, that would be really amazing. I also have that habit of reading papers. Hello, Nobbit. Yes. I feel like that's typically the way to go. I love that in, at least in astrophysics papers, there's bullet points. So that's really easy to follow. I want to see what they say at the end about the black hole star stuff. Instead of saying that it is a black hole star, they're saying that rather it cannot originate from a massive evolved stellar population with extremely high stellar density. Here, let me zoom in a little. And that the most plausible model is the black hole star. I mean, this would be super cool. So yeah. The disk stars fusion. Yes, the accretion disk. So yeah, well, that was a pretty cool read. Thank you to Anelia Anderson for writing. Oh, that's so cute. I'm interested in historical astronomy and hope to someday write astronomy children's books. We need more people doing stuff like that. We need to have science introduced to children at a young age. That's super cute. That was a fun read. Black hole sun. So, next article, we have a few options. We have two options. The first is that we can read another article on a black hole star that is actually written by the same... Is it the same first author? No, it's not, but it's the same institution from which, from the previous article. Or we can read one on a runaway supermassive black hole to switch things up and then go back to the super... Here, let me make a little poll. Runaway supermassive black hole sun again. Or black hole star, sorry. I did a quick poll. Also, I just remembered that at the end of the stream, I will be giving out gift memberships on YouTube, because that just renewed, and I want to do that before I forgot. Yeah, we're going to be reading both. Don't worry, Matt. We're going to be reading both, so don't worry. Gotta stay hydrated. And actually, if we have time, there was... What other thing I wanted to cover? I wonder if I have it uploaded. Was it this? No. So, if we have time at the end, some of you guys asked for me to actually cover the really cursed research paper on the black hole dark DNA thing. There, for context... Okay, let me make sure. Okay, yes. For context, there was a paper released, like, a while ago that was retracted about black holes and dark DNA, and I just thought it might be interesting to read at the very end. The what? Yeah, no, this is, like, a really weird paper. It was, like, very quickly retracted. I mean, I think the title says it all. A black hole at the center of the Earth plays the role in the biggest system of telecommunication for connecting DNA, dark DNAs, and molecules of water on a 4+ n-dimensional manifold. There's a lot of things that are wrong with this paper. I just wanted to point to, this figure here, that is one exhibit. Though, I think it might be a very interesting case study of what happens when, with some of these sussy papers. So yeah, I think this might be good to cover at the end. Some of you guys have asked me to actually cover it in full, so I just thought that might be a fun read at the very end. That is one crazy paper title. Yeah, no, I'll link it in the description later. Dark Gaia theory. Yes. Oh, I was also going to show one more thing. Shoot, let me see if I can pull this up. Oh, it's this. Yeah, so this is really cool. So in the members, okay, so a few things. First, if you aren't on the Discord, go join the Discord. But if you are a member on YouTube, there's like a separate members only Discord. And when I was talking about doing a stream about this, Andrew Glesby actually did this really cool simple simulation. And they wrote, I ran some simple simulations and fusion is negligible in terms of structure and luminosity, and a standard dark matter halo matters for formation. And so this was like a pretty simple simulation showing inflow intensity dependent on halo mass, which is why dark matter plays an important role in the formation. I have to be so honest, I'm not quite sure what's being shown here, but I just thought it's a really cool example of using pretty basic fusion simulations to do a very basic simulation of what a black hole star could look like. Stuff like adding spin makes fusion less significant. And so I wanted to share that. I just thought that was really interesting. You orbeez are always like super creative and super smart, and I thought it was really amazing to see, like, I just shared this thing about, you know, the astrophysics side of black hole sun, but there's also a way to sort of think about it from fusion simulations too. So huge shout out to Andrew Gillespie for sharing that. By black hole suns, do you mean quasi-stars? I'm not sure what you mean by quasi-stars. I feel like quasi as a prefix can be very broad. I'm not sure if you're referring to a specific thing. Oh, Andrew is in the chat. Well, thank you so much. I'm sure you could probably explain this a lot better than whatever the heck I just said. Sorry, I'm chewing on ice. Is this kind of cursed? When I get water, I get ice, and then I start chewing on the ice. And it looks like Runaway supermassive black hole has won the poll, so we are going to read this first. Hypothetical star with a black hole in the center. Yes, speculated to have existed in the early universe. Yes, that is actually exactly the article we just covered. That was able to observe something that appears to be most convincingly a black hole star. So let me include the Astrobite for the next article. Oop. So this is about runaway supermassive black holes. The actual F was that paper? Yeah, no. I'll cover it at the very end. I think it would be a fun read. Alright. We about to read the next one. So, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's a runaway supermassive black hole. JW is a confirmation of a runaway supermassive black hole via its supersonic bow shock. Oh, I love the tone of this paper already. The tone of this Astrobite already. Watch out! There's a supermassive black hole on the loose, tearing through the universe at over 3 million kilometers an hour! Luckily, it's at least 7 billion light years away from us, so we can observe it from a safe distance. Thank God. Runaway supermassive black holes have long been predicted to exist as a consequence of galaxy mergers, and in 2023 we got a tantalizing hint from the Hubble Space Telescope that we might have spotted one. Now data from the James Webb Space Telescope has confirmed that the object is traveling supersonically through space, disturbing the diffuse gas surrounding the galaxy known as the circumgalactic medium, or CGM, and creating a bow shock. The object is likely to be a supermassive black hole flung out of its galaxy and flying through the circumgalactic medium. Wow, no, this is an incredible image. I actually used this for the thumbnail because I thought it was super cool. The candidate runaway supermassive black hole was discovered in this Hubble image. Its implied host galaxy is to its left at a redshift of 0.964, so the area observed using the James Webb Space Telescope is shown by the yellow boxes. So it's this guy here. I mean, that's crazy. So it's saying that it started out from here. So this is its host galaxy, and it's going pew over to the right. The runaway supermassive black hole was found by chance in a Hubble image that revealed a strange linear structure that seemed to be coming directly out of or towards a nearby galaxy. Follow-up spectroscopy of this object, which you can read more about in this Astrobite, oh interesting, revealed that the structure was consistent with a runaway supermassive black hole traveling at supersonic speeds and shocking the circumgalactic medium. Cool. So it was found by a Hubble image first, but the spectra or the light could not rule out alternative explanations, such as the possibility that it was a disk galaxy with no bulge being viewed exactly edge-on. I feel like that doesn't look like a disk galaxy though. That doesn't look like a disk galaxy on its side. What do you think, Orbeez? I don't know. I feel like it doesn't look symmetric enough. It looks kind of dotted. Interesting. What does supersonic mean in a vacuum? That's actually a fair point. I think it was just saying supersonic for fun because it would be traveling 3 million kilometers an hour, which, if that speed were to happen on Earth, I mean, that would definitely be above the speed of sound in air. That'd be a very non-like and very irregular disk galaxy. Yeah, I'm not convinced that this is a disk galaxy, but, let's see. Oh, so this is where this figure is from. Okay, let's see. To learn more about this mysterious object and rule out alternative explanations, the authors obtained follow-up observations of the object using the James Webb Space Telescope's NIRSPEC's integral field unit. An integral field unit is able to take an image where each pixel contains a spectrum, allowing the astronomers to compare the spectrum of an object at different physical locations. Now, this is really great when you're dealing with large objects, or objects that span multiple pixels in the sky. It's not as relevant when you're dealing with the first galaxies of the universe, in which they are incredibly small. You know how scientists are like, you can't rule this galaxy out if it even remotely resembles one. I think it was also saying that the spectra, or the light of the object, does not rule out this possibility either. I think it looks like a squiggle. Yeah, no, me too. Allowing astronomers... Okay, yes. So, let's see this. This is the 3D shape of the bow shock, traveling towards us at an angle of 30 degrees. One side of the shock is moving towards us, the near limb. Okay, it's like this. Blue shifting the light we see from that side. Light from the far limb will be red shifted since that side is moving away from us. So, shock front tilted towards observer. Interesting. But you never hear the sonic boom because you'd be in the vacuum space before it happened. Also, the speed of which this object is moving, I feel like a sonic... being in the distance to even hear a sonic boom would not be very pleasant. And also, yeah, there wouldn't be sound in space. This is a cool figure, though. Oh, wow. It's adapted from figure 4 of today's paper, so it was also in the paper as well. Due to the Doppler shift, light will be shifted to shorter wavelengths if the source is moving towards us, and longer wavelengths if the source is moving away from us. The faster the source is traveling, the larger the shift in wavelength. At the tip of the feature, the authors find that the velocity of the gas changes by more than 600 kilometers per second over just 1 kiloparsec. Such a steep velocity gradient right at the tip of this linear feature is the key sign that this object is a supersonic bow shock. No other effect or object could cause such a drastic change in the gas velocity over such an astronomically speaking small scale. So, yes. So they looked at the velocity of this object here. So the top panel, so by getting the spaxels, or each of the pixels being represented by a different spectra or distribution of light, you can get information about how each part of this object moves, because you can tell apart how it shifts in terms of the wavelengths. And so that's how they were able to make this plot showing the velocity of this object at different points. So the tip of the bow shock is on the right side and the wake extends to the left. The middle panel shows the predicted velocity profile along the shock in red. The observed velocities are shown by the black points. The sharp increase is caused by the transition from the near limb to the far limb. Ah, yes, so this is the object here along the top. And there's like a spike in the velocity, so it goes from moving away from us to transitioning towards us. Actually, quick Googling implies supersonic is an actual term for interstellar medium studies. Let me see this. These high-speed flows, typically triggered by stellar winds. I just haven't heard of the term supersonic. Oh, I guess supersonic turbulence. Yeah, it's been mentioned a few times. Supersonic interstellar turbulence, yeah. I feel like I've heard of supersonic turbulence in reference to, like, supersonic plasma turbulence, though. Supersonic flows? Yes, supersonic and fluid. I think that's what it's referring to. I mean, we do know what the speed of sound is in air. One could imply you could also have a speed of sound. Let me see what supersonic turbulence is exactly referring to. Supersonic turbulence is a chaotic, highly energetic fluid flow moving faster than the local speed of sound, common in astrophysical systems like molecular clouds, where it dictates star formation by producing dense colliding gas regions. There's no sound. Let me look this up. Yeah, I think supersonic... Yes, supersonic turbulence just refers to the speed at which the gas is moving. Even if it is too thin to transmit human audible sound. Yeah, it's just referring to violent turbulence that exceeds the local speed of sound. Yeah, I guess prior to someone pointing this out in chat, though, I actually didn't think of that before, of that being a potential issue in terms of the terminology. Let's see this. By carefully modeling the expected kinematics of a bow shock, the authors predict how the velocity should vary in different spaxels. I love that word. It's like spectrum pixels. Would it be spixels, though? I don't know why it's called spaxels. The shock isn't moving perfectly parallel to the plane of the sky. Instead, it's tilted towards us by 30 degrees. As a result, one side of the bow shock is moving towards us, and the other is moving away from us. The angle of the shock means that we should see a lot of blue shifted emission from the near limb, and a little bit of red shifted emission from the far limb. The authors simulate the bow shock and try to match the observed kinematics with their model. You can see the results of this in figure 3. The top panel shows the brightness of 2 emission lines in each spaxel to show you where along the shock and wake. The second panel shows the predicted velocity. The sharp increase shows that you're moving. Yeah, so they're just going back to this figure and they're showing how the data, the observations in the black fit the data about the velocity of the object. So let's take a look at the physics of this. As the black hole travels through this circumgalactic medium, it leaves a thin wake of hot gas. Over time, more gas from the circumgalactic medium mixes into the wake, making it a long-lived structure. Gradually, the gas cools and gets dense enough to form stars in the wake. By measuring the amount of light being emitted by the wake, the authors estimate that the wake contains 200 million solar masses worth of stars. This is uncomfortably close to the amount of gas that could mix into the wake over its lifetime, perhaps suggesting that conditions in the wake would make it so that more high-mass stars are formed than is normally expected. Higher mass stars emit much more light per unit of mass, meaning that a lower total mass of stars could produce the same amount of light if the distribution of stellar masses is skewed more towards high-mass stars. Okay, interesting. So, there are 2 main ways that a supermassive black hole could be ejected from its host galaxy: gravitational wave recoil or 3-body interactions. As 2 supermassive black holes of similar mass and opposite spins spiral in towards each other, they will emit more gravitational waves in one direction than the other. This asymmetry creates a recoil force in the opposite direction, meaning that once the black holes merge, the resulting black hole can be kicked out of the galaxy at very high speeds. That's so interesting. Is there a speed of sound in a vacuum? No. Though, I'm wondering if the speed of sound that they're referring to is just the theoretical speed of sound within that medium if it was dense enough. 200 million? Yeah, no, that's crazy. Such a setup is probably quite rare, but we think that almost all galaxy mergers should eventually result in a supermassive black hole merger. So there should be a population of supermassive black holes flung out of their galaxy by gravitational wave recoil. See, this is the coolest part about the universe. Hear me out. Hear me out. There are so many things that are very rare or probabilistically low to happen, but the universe is a humongous place. That should be a Z quote. The universe is a humongous place. And honestly, even if an event is rare, it is likely that it could have happened. And I think that's the really amazing part. And so even though this whole idea of this gravitational wave recoil could be rare, the universe is so big that, you know, this might just be one of them. This might be an instance in which that happened. Alternatively, a system where 3 supermassive black holes orbiting each other can be quite unstable and end up with the lowest— Oh my god! Ah! Oh my god, that scared me! Oh my god, hello Nep, thank you so much for the raid! Nep raid, a shamrock in your world raid, oh my god, happy St. Patrick's Day! Thank you all so much for joining. Let me shout out, Nep real quick. For those of you who do not know, Nep is also part of Vtheorem, which is the group that I'm part of, focusing on science communication, a shamrocking your galaxy raid. Oh my god, thank you all so much. Thank you Nod Thembo for following. I am also dual streaming on YouTube, which is my, where I was streaming beforehand and I think is my primary platform. Oh wow, we just hit our follower goal. Thank you so much for 410 followers on Twitch. Z is not wearing green, she gets pinched? What? What? Was I supposed to wear green? Thank you, Senko, for following. Well, let me quickly introduce myself before all of you Nep folks decide to pinch me. Spinning at Sees Me Z, hello everyone. I'm sure our audiences have a lot of overlap. But for those of you who do not know, I am an IRL astrophysicist, but also a physics VTuber, and we are currently reading an Astrobite, which are these papers that have been sort of translated into lay-friendly terms. And we just read one on the black hole stars, which was a super crazy idea, which was this idea that there could literally be a star, a black hole at the center of something similar to a star. And we took a quick break from that to read about runaway supermassive black holes, where we have this galaxy here on the left and a literal black hole shooting out of it. And so we were just, I think we're almost at the end of this article where they were talking about what this object could be caused by. And they did that by looking at the light of the object at many different points and measuring its velocity. What did you guys just stream, Nep? How are you doing? How is stream? Were you streaming for St. Patrick's Day? I explained shamrocks tonight! Oh my god, wait, what's there to explain? My question is, how rare are 4-leaf clovers? We were clicking... I feel like there's some conflicting responses here. Nep is like, you know, we did some great science communication, we learned about shamrocks, and then Comey right below it is, we were clicking on cats. That's so funny. And, I also realized I didn't shout out Nep on YouTube, but if you go to Twitch, it'll be right there. D, all of the above. Yes, that sounds great. I love space science. Well, I'm so glad that you were able to find my channel. I feel like not a lot of people know that I'm part of a group, but I'm a part of this amazing group called Vtheorem, and we're actually hosting auditions right now for our next generation, which is super duper exciting. That will be closing at the end of this month. So if you are a science VTuber and would like to join us, that is also a possibility. And then yes, we click cats. Well, that sounds like a lot of fun. We've been learning about black hole stars, which is not only a reference to the song, but also A super cool astrophysical phenomenon. Multiple different species of clovers, and you can just get plants that only have 4 leaves? What? Where can I get that? When I was little, I used to spend hours on like in the lawn in front of my house looking for 4-leaf clovers, and I actually have a small notebook that I might still have of these like little 4-leaf clovers that I pressed into books, and I used to like gather them. Black Hole Sun is a good song. Actually, this is so funny. I can't play this song right now, but on my YouTube channel, Aleph made a YouTube short of Black Hole Sun song and me getting like blown apart by the Black Hole Sun. So you may enjoy that as well. Let me actually put it here. I love space and stuff, but I'm probably not smart enough to be a specific scientist VTuber. Well, don't say that. I think honestly, like, I feel like people, as long as you have curiosity, that's really all that matters, right? I feel like being open and inquisitive and asking questions is always so much fun. Like for this too, I have been learning so much during this stream. Like we just learned about supersonic turbulence, which is pretty surprising given that there's sound cannot propagate in space, because it's in a vacuum, and we just learned that term. I love woodworking though, that is so cool. Well, we do have a Discord, so, or if you're on Nep's Discord, I'd love to see what you woodwork, that's super cool. Oh, actually, Nep, there's a question for you on YouTube. Do 4-leaf clovers make better honey? You can make honey out of clovers? There's always pseudoscience too. Well, that would be very interesting indeed. VTuber that's very ignorant about a subject, but chat learns with them during the stream. I actually did that. Just a few weeks ago, we did a stream on freaking cuneiform. I kid you not, we did a stream on cuneiform. Actually, we did 2 streams on cuneiform. It was great. Here, let me just quickly screen share. Like, literally look right here. We did 1 stream on cuneiform, and then we did another one here. And I know nothing about cuneiform. I know nothing about Mesopotamian history. And we were reading this book together, and we learned so much about cuneiform. Like, for instance, how most of the stuff that we know comes from, like, old house records. Or there were even students, like, making fart jokes in their little cuneiform clay tablets and making fun of their teachers. And that kind of stuff. It's been so much fun. Cryptid VTuber? Yeah, that already exists. Mylan. I don't know if I can do another shout out, but Mylan is my genmate in VTheorem and does psychology content. We're all experts in cuneiform, aren't we? Well, now we are. Well, I wouldn't call myself an expert still, but a 4-leaf clover is just a mutation of the leaf tissues, no relation to honey production regarding the clover as a food source for honeybees. Well, I hope that answers your question, Matt. But I've always wanted to do the dumb thing of applying IRL science and games and stuff. See, I just found out the other day that there is a Minecraft coding course where you can learn how to like code in Minecraft. I didn't take a deep look into this yet, but I just thought that was super cool. Curiosity or stubbornness, anyway, you need a reason to do grad school. Mine is to atone for undergrad crimes against research science. Honestly, curiosity and stubbornness, maybe that is the recipe. Have you seen the meteorite exploded in the atmosphere above Germany and bits smashed through a house and bedroom? Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! That just reminded me. I was about to speak. I'm so sorry, by the way. We are going on such a tangent, but I think this is worth mentioning. My friend in Pittsburgh messages me at like early in the morning. I think it was like something like 9 a.m. or something, but then it ended up being like what, like 6 a.m. or something for me. Like, it was really early in the morning. and is like freaking out and was like, I just heard this gigantic explosion. And like, it may be a meteor. We're not sure. It may be a meteor, but like, it literally felt like a giant explosion. And then like an hour later, NASA like and the meteorology channel and whatever comes out with an announcement saying that a literal like 60-foot meteor burned up in the atmosphere just above Cleveland, Ohio. Which is such a funny place for a meteor to be streaking through the sky, but I guess that shows that Ohio truly is the center of the universe. Yeah, no, and it made like this huge sonic boom. Wait, I'm so sorry, we're gonna go on tangent, but I just really wanted to show this. I put it on my Discord channel as well. Let me see if I can just try to pull them up. Yes. Oh, it's not 60 feet. A 6 foot. See, we would be in a very different world if that was 60 feet, though. Here, let me see. Someone... let me pull this up. Yeah, so that was the meteor. This little green dot here, literally right near Cleveland, Ohio. And somebody on the side says, another reason why Cleveland is the center of the universe. It's so funny. Oh yeah, there was also a video. Let me see if I can try to pull it up. Okay, let me... Sorry, this is like me screen sharing. I also haven't checked my notifications on this platform, but... Like, if you look at the top here, it'll pop up. So, yeah, no, this is crazy. Only in Ohio. Look! Look! Like, isn't that insane? Wait, let me play that back again. Like, look at that! The other fact is that the word Ohio looks like an old school tractor from the side. What? Ohio? Sorry, I have a post-it note. From the side? What is an old school tractor? Ohio's where NASA gets all their astronauts, so that makes sense. You know what's really funny? I heard a joke that the reason why Ohio gets all the astronauts is because everyone wants to leave Ohio as far away as possible. But jokes aside, the NASA Glenn Center is really, really nice. I actually visited a while back, and they have this amazing wind tunnel, and they do a lot of stuff with building airplanes and stuff that actually directly benefits civilians as well. So just beyond like space missions. Although I think space missions also directly benefit society, but... Hi Data Foxy, a live video of something falling. Actually, this is the meteor that was right above Cleveland, Ohio. But I heard about it because someone I know from Pittsburgh was messaging me being like, holy moly, there was a giant explosion. Can you look up the German version of that? Yeah, let me look this up too. German meteor event? I'm not sure. Yeah, wait, Kolak just repeated what I said. Ohio makes the best space people because they all want to get as far away as possible from the state. That's so funny. The Tunguska? Wait, there was another fireball on March 8th. Is that what you're referring to? Oh my god, right here, yeah. Oh my god, I don't have New York Times on my Z account. Ah! Please. Oh wow, someone got it from a flight. That's crazy. Cincinnati chili is pretty bad. I've never been to Cincinnati, but I actually have been to both Columbus and Cleveland. I actually was quite impressed by Cleveland. I actually think it's not as... I was gonna say not as bad, but it's actually quite nice. I went to like their art museum and it was really pretty. My grandparents had something similar go over their town years back, and they sounded like a train running through the backyard. It's weird. It was magnetic. Interesting. Like the meteorite bit. If we could somehow convert them into electricity, what if we convert Ohioans into electricity? No! 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 Every time you can get Z on a tangent is the best Z you're going to get. Thank you. Yeah, so this is the one that was mentioned in the Twitch chat. So the picture of the meteors caught on camera during the flight. An intense burst of light. Wait, I'm curious about... It smashes a hole in a German house. Wait, Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh my god. Oh my god, it's like fragmenting and stuff. The resulting fragments pummeled into the German town of Koblenz ghouls. Z gets paywalled for meteorite vids. Hopefully not. I hope not. Also, I feel like I keep getting notifications that my live streams are demonetized, even though I like cite the source properly in the description, but I don't really mind. I feel like for me, I do streaming for fun and not necessarily for funding, so when Nep's chat cross-contaminates Z's chat. No, this is so funny. I love this. We are Pikmin. Are we turning Ohio into electricity? No! I hope not. Oh my god. Multiple eyewitnesses were able to snap photos of the fireball and the resulting smoke trail as the meteor broke apart. Oh wait, I realized I'm covering that up. Well, you still get funding from Throne. Yeah, no, I really appreciate all the gifts that have been sent in. I haven't been able to mail them yet. Oh, thank you, Coma, for following. There was a meteor that fell today in Ohio. We just talked about that. Yeah, that's crazy. It smashed this hole into the roof of the house. Must have been really dense and heavy then. Yeah, we were just talking about the meteor over Ohio. I wonder if there's more. I clicked I clicked National Weather Service Cleveland, Ohio to see if there were more clips, and all I'm seeing is statewide tornado drill, snow, wow, this is great. Severe thunderstorm warning. See, I'm not getting any more information about the meteor, it appears. We build a big magnet to draw an asteroid down into Earth's atmosphere. Oh my god, that would be crazy. There's currently a cold snap in the east, so that groundhog was a fraud. That's crazy. Oh, the 7-ton meteor could be seen from several states away. Yeah, no, this is crazy. Also, thank you for mentioning the German one. I actually didn't know about that asteroid. Oh my god, I meant meteorite. Meteor as well. Nothing happened. I did not just refer to a meteor as an asteroid. Actually, do you know what's really funny? So I was messaging Phi this morning because Phi's been making a new video, and I found a research paper that I thought would be really helpful on the recent results from this Japanese spacecraft that visited the asteroid Ryugu. Found the presence of all of like the DNA nucleobases on the surface of the asteroid, which is a pretty convincing sign that maybe life could have originated from an asteroid event or something like that hitting Earth. And so I sent that article to him, and he was asking me for advice on his video, and he's like, you know, I'm using the words asteroid, meteor, and meteorite, and I think comet or something like interchangeably. And I heard that, and I like sent this like gif of this cat like freaking out, and I was like, fine, you know, like maybe you can switch up meteor versus meteorite, because the only difference is that one of them lands on Earth and the other doesn't. But then the other, but confusing a meteor with an asteroid is a little bit diabolical, and then it's not like the worst, but then confusing like asteroid and comet is like, oh my god. Anyways. 7 tons? Yeah, I know, right? Oh, Psy rated me. Wait, no way. I was gonna say, there were some mentions of pigments in the chat. Well, thank you for the Psy raiders as well. I'm chilly right now on the East Coast. It's wild here in the Midwest. Wait, Matt, did you get to see the actual event as well? Or did you feel the giant sonic boom? Do you make your own research papers? Yes, I do. Actually, I made a joke research paper with Super Kim VT, who is also does astrophysics content on stream, which was a lot of fun. But also, like, in my IRL life, yes. Confusing astronomy and astrology is the unforgivable sin here. Yes, I agree with that. No astrologers allowed. I have such... also, we will get back to this paper, I promise. But I wanted to share this really cursed story, right? So I was meeting up with somebody who reached out to me and, you know, wanted to connect and whatever, right? And this individual is not in astrophysics, is not in astronomy, is not even in STEM, I think. This individual is like they were a student. They are like a student. And so I was talking about, like, you know, they asked like a few questions about, you know, like my career path and, you know, like, you know, the basic stuff, right? And I was like telling about like astrophysics research and like what I've been working on and so forth, being like, oh yes, I'm a VTuber. No, I did not mention that. And so I was telling them about, like, you know, what I'm researching and what I'm excited about. And this like coffee chat was going on for maybe like a good like 20-30 minutes. And, you know, they were a very, like, passionate student, and so I was getting, like, you know, good vibes all around, and we were wrapping things up, and I kid you not, they ended this conversation being like, thank you so much for meeting with me, I loved hearing about everything you do in astrology. Like, I just was like, oh... Astrology. Oh my god. Oh my god. So I don't know what Kobe's wait, let me see what Kobe's originally messaged. What? You just sent cider tired? Like an emoji? What? Okay, yeah, I'm sorry, Nightbot's being weird. A was so happy. Maybe they met A. Maybe they were a servant of A. It got deleted because Venus is in retrograde. You mean Mercury is in Gatorade? Yeah, no, like, I think that it was just like a slip up. You know, when you go to a restaurant and I don't know what's a good example of this. You're like, thank you so much, and they're like, I hope you enjoyed your food, and you say like, you too, or something like that, right? Like I think it was just like a slip up, but I think my face like fell so fast. I was like, oh no. You too, yeah. Oh my god, automod is... Okay, why is it blocking that? Senko's message got blocked because it said, "Are you a supernova? Because you just blew me away." And it got marked, it got auto-modded for having sexual terms in it. Like, bro, like, you gotta be serious. Mercury and Gatorade would cause a public health crisis. I agree with that. Yeah, but I think it lets me approve some messages. I'm glad it isn't me anymore. Oh dang, yeah, I don't know what's going on with Nightbot. But yeah, no, that was a very funny incident. Oh, thank you, Jedi, for following. Love your username. Oh, yeah. Stick? With 2 C's? What does that even mean? Like... Well, I mean, actually, what's really interesting is that when I first told my grandparents, when I was young Z, that I wanted to do astrophysics, I had to explain the difference between astrology, astronomy, and astrophysics. And I can understand why there would be confusion. To be fair, when I first started, I was also mildly confused. Oh, wait, Nep, you are a mod. Can you... Thank you for allowing that. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Nep. See, I don't know how to do Twitch, so... Where's C, the cosmetologist? Oh, no. Oh, that's another bucket of worms, too. Cosmetology and cosmology. But the thing is, astrology is, like, tarot card reading, that kind of stuff. Astronomy is, like, observing stuff in the night sky, and then astrophysics is understanding the physics, like how that stuff happens in space. Oh, what the heck? Oh, I just got a very strange message. Okay, interesting. Cosmetology is way more useful. That's cap. Cosmology is super cool. Cosmology is super cool. Oh, I love this song. One step at a time. Do 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 do. Well, I think we need to get back into reading this paper. So where were we? So we were looking at this runaway supermassive black hole. And they looked at the spectra, the light of this object at different points in order to understand its speed. And now they were theorizing that one of the reasons why this black hole could have been ejected is because of this recoil from gravitational waves, which could have kicked out the black hole out of the galaxy at very high speeds. There's also a system in which 3 supermassive black holes are orbiting each other, which can be quite unstable, and end up with the lowest mass supermassive black hole being ejected. The authors make a simple estimate of the supermassive black hole's mass using the conservation of energy. As the black hole travels through the CGM, it heats the gas, thus transferring some of its kinetic energy. By measuring the energy transferred to the circumgalactic medium, so the surrounding medium, in the Bose shock and wake, the authors place a lower limit on the mass of the black hole at around 10 million times the mass of the sun. Like, it's crazy to me how astrophysics, like, how large these phenomena are. Let me read this. I like how they used to navigate with stars too. It was like old school GPS. Honestly, the first science that was ever done was for astrology. We learned about that during the cuneiform stream. Like, in Mesopotamia, they were using astrology. And that's how they built the calendars and stuff like that. Serious science time, yeah. Let's read the rest of this. The mass is similar to the supermassive black hole you would expect given the mass of the stars in the host galaxy's bulge. Therefore, they conclude that it is unlikely that the supermassive black hole we see is the lowest mass supermassive black hole ejected from a triple system. Instead, they argue it's more likely the result of a gravitational wave recoil event. So, case closed. Not quite. There are still some open questions about this object. It is especially difficult to definitely prove that there is a black hole embedded in this structure. If there is one, it's likely surrounded by an envelope of hot gas that's much, much larger than the black hole, making it impossible to directly observe. However, the observations align very well with what we'd expect from a runaway supermassive black hole, making this the most concrete evidence of a supermassive black hole to date. Undoubtedly, more data will be taken of this object, which will reveal more details. This is super cool. Well, thank you, Nathalie Cuestas at Northwestern, for this really cool article. I mean, I think honestly this diagram, like this image is super cool. So astrology is useful. I mean, honestly, so I officially debuted as the astrologer like around this time a year ago. Oh my god, I gotta think of that. My next April Fool's stream. I gotta think of that. But I just jotted that down. But I also talked about how astrology as a science, like, affected science, and honestly, for the first civilizations, looking up at the night sky was some of the first instances of science, and I think, honestly, that it led to a beneficial impact on society. At the end of the day, doing stuff like astrology or looking up at the night sky, you are still actively using the scientific method, like you're making hypotheses, you're collecting results, you're building conclusions. And I think, honestly, even though we kind of joke about astrology being a pseudoscience now, and there are definitely some elements that are very pseudoscience-y, it did lead to an overall beneficial impact on society. It's crazy that we can actually observe and analyze objects of this scale. I know, right? Like 200 million suns is like what they mentioned before. Like, that's crazy. Hi Z, so Z is going to do tarot card readings now? Well, if you go to my YouTube page and you Google the Astrologer, you may enjoy my the Astrologer debut where I did actually do tarot card readings. That was a crazy stream. It was quite a long time ago. That is true. That is definitely Nep's thing. Nep and I did talk about a collab between Nep and the Astrologer. Maybe that could be a possibility for April 1st. Who knows? Who knows? Astrologer plays Balatro? Oh my god, that would be so funny. That would be hilarious. Z stood me up for that play? No, no, do not say that. Do not say that. That was because I was traveling. That was because I was traveling. That plan is still, it's still possible. It can still come to fruition. If I stood you up, that would mean like ghosting, which I think is inaccurate. I wonder if A will ever collab with Kim. See, what's really funny is that we have actually collabed 2 times? 3 times now? We were working on that Europa research paper. Or I don't know if you're being sarcastic, because I'm not sure. I feel like I don't know if you're part of the Kim's audience as well. We have Astrologer play Baldy. Well, okay, no. When I played Baldy's Basics, I was as my own self. 3 times for the paper, I think. We collabed twice for the paper. I think we collabed once for something else, though. Yes. Yes, that was a lot of fun. Well, without much further ado, I do watch Kim, yes, so that's good to hear. I think it is time for us to read another article on black hole star. Yeah, this literally has the same image as we looked at before, but it is a different paper. So let me quickly link this. I'm actually curious if you have any ideas for the April Fool's stream. I was thinking it might be fun to do another the Astrologer stream. H the Horse? See, the thing is, I don't have a model for H the Horse. Oh my god, I was gonna type the Astrologer and then the link. Oh! Ah! Uh-oh! Ah! Oh my god, oh my god. Oh my god. Sorry, I like propped up my computer on this like portable stand and it just like collapsed, but it should be fixed now. Yes. Alright. That is all fixed. Alright. We should read our next article on Black Hole Star. I'm so stoked for this. I feel like all of these ones have been so fun to read. Let me move chat a little bit to the side. You the Uma? Oh my god. See, I used to play a lot of Musume, but then I stopped because I ran out. I've been pretty busy. I don't have much time to do gaming and stuff. Unfortunately, outside of streaming, I feel like I do a lot of like physical activity actually. That's been my like hobby. And I like reading. So the Scuff visits. Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Well, I'll have some time in the coming weeks to take a quick break. So I actually have so many books that I've been planning to read. Actually, the book I'm reading right now is called You Like It Darker by Stephen King. It's a collection of short stories. I don't like it as much as his previous collections, but I do highly recommend it. See, he's one of those functional people. Why is that in voice cracking? Like, why is that in uppercase and lowercase? I do like reading non-fiction books to get information. My Black as a Brain Hole completes... It completely absorbs it, but it can never spit it out again. No! No, that's so sad. Also, I don't know if I classify as functional, but actually, I've talked to a few people about, you know, people in real life who know how I'm like and stuff like that, and I do get quite a few comments saying that I'm very, like, put together. So I guess that may be different from what I appear on as stream. Appear as on stream. Girl is ambitious and touches grass. X to doubt she's a VTuber. Wait, what's really crazy is that... I'm so sorry, we're going on a lot of tangents today, but I think it'll be fun because I will be on a streaming break, so we might as well talk right now, right? I was, like, talking with someone about... I know quite a bit about VTubing. Okay, maybe that's an understatement. I know a lot about VTubing, but particularly about, like, Hololive Myth and stuff like that, because that was sort of how I got looped into the whole thing. And so... You know, I was talking about, like, VTubing and, like, the whole thing of, like, rendering and tracking and, like, getting your model and, like, the individual I was talking with was, like, not familiar with VTubing at all and had some, like, pretty strong conceptions. I mean, some conceptions that were correct about VTubing. But then I was also talking about, like, oh, like, you know, there's super cool, like, science VTubers out there, too. And, you know, I, like, name drop, like, you know, like... I name drop Nep too. Like, I was like, you know, there's this really cool, like, horticulture VTuber who's, like, an actual, like, certified horticulturalist. And, you know, I showed them some of, like, Fide's videos and stuff like that. And I was, like, you know, totally nerding out. And I must have nerded out too much because at some point they were like, are you a VTuber? And I was like, see, I was able to, like, think quickly on my feet, and so I was like, oh, do you think I'd be a good VTuber? And then, like, we changed the topic completely without me saying yes or no. But... Basically tell them a VTuber is the Muppet Show but digital. Lamau. Are you doxing your own self in real life? Wait, but I felt like I had to say something about this because, you know, I don't know how this even got brought up, but I mentioned, like, I was, like, watching VTubers, and then I, like, was, like, they were giving me some hate about this, and I was like, you know, there's more to VTubing than, you know, just these, like, busty anime girls on the internet, and honestly, like, there is such a beautiful community of scientific communicators who are VTubers and also scientific communicators who are streamers. And they had, like, this misconception that, like, streaming in general was all, like, sussy content, which is also a valid claim to have, but I wanted to speak about the content that I was interfacing with the most. And the content that I interface the most and I watch regularly is science communication content, space content, other science content. And so I wanted to, you know, explain that that is the type of content that I watch. So I wasn't doxing myself in real life. I've thought about putting a V-Theorem sticker on my water bottle though, but then I was like, that would be a little too much. Clutched. Thank you, Morpheus, and welcome into the chat. Glad you were able to join me on this strange tangent. I usually compared it to the motion capture used for movies, but live, yeah. I've doxed myself IRL a lot. That's crazy. Wait, like in stream? I think I've been doing a fairly careful job. There are a lot of hidden gems of content out there with... Oh, not in stream, I see. Are generally interesting, but they are hard to find them. I agree with that. That's also low-key why I started dual streaming on Twitch, because I feel like it was much easier to find sciencey creators and also be found as a science creator. What the heck? I submitted a VOD as proof of my work for a job once? OMG. That is diabolical. If he's going to be the next Bill Nye, I would love to be. I would love to be the next Neil deGrasse Tyson. That would be an absolute dream. That is wild. I'm wondering, like, what did they give any feedback? Actually, what's really funny is, I wouldn't say, like, I fully reused, but I have taken elements of some of the slides that I've used for my live lectures into presentations that I've had to give. Like, not fully, obviously, because I wouldn't have, like, a Chibi Z on my slide, for instance, but we gotta get you on the podcasts. See, that would be pretty fun. I feel like I haven't been doing as much, like, outreaching outside of my own channel recently. But I feel like, you know, I feel like that stuff comes naturally. Nah, I think they just took my word for it. Nep, yeah, no, that's a little diabolical. That's crazy. Well, I guess I learned that from Nep today. Well, I think we need to get on to reading the next article, because I really want to read about black hole stars. So we're gonna do that right now. Yeah, but this has been a really fun tangent. I've been enjoying the little conversations. So now we're reading about a potential new piece of the little red dot puzzle. The X-ray dot, exotic dust, or late-stage little red dot. So what are little red dots? So we just talked about these earlier, but I'm sure there's a lot of new visitors now, so we'll recap them again. One of the most intriguing results produced by the James Webb Space Telescope was a serendipitous discovery of a new class of object, little red dots. These objects started popping up everywhere in our early universe observations. Surprisingly, they look like compact little red dots in imaging data. The number of LRDs we observed drops drastically at redshifts less than about 4, implying that LRDs are likely evolving into something else entirely. Okay, so this is new. So the little red dots are actually evolving out of their little red dot stage. And I actually had an image of what these look like, because I got a question earlier about, like, why are they called little red dots? Like, that's so, like, little compared to what? And like, it's these guys. Like, we are seeing a bunch of these in the early universe, and we still don't really know why. The luminous, compact nature of LRDs, paired with their disappearance from the cosmic stage, has continuously puzzled astronomers in recent years. At least part of this little red dot population has been explained as a new class of active galactic nuclei, which are basically the supermassive black holes at the center of many galaxies. Recent evidence has increasingly pointed towards the little red dots being a new class of AGN black hole stars. New class of AGN. Oh, I think they meant to put like an M dash here. Or maybe that is an M dash. Black hole stars, or supermassive black holes surrounded by dense cocoons of gas, not glass, gas. Figure 1 shows an artist's impression of such a system. Naturally, this raises questions surrounding the placement of little red dots in our understanding of supermassive black holes, and thus galaxy evolution across time. Are they dots that are little and red? Yes, exactly. A hallmark of typical active galactic nuclei is their X-ray brightness. X-rays are the most energetic of the bunch when it comes to electromagnetic radiation, and are primarily produced by the most extreme astrophysical situations, think neutron star mergers. One of the key challenges in explaining the nature of LRDs has been their lack of X-ray emission. Their lack of emission in this regime is the piece of evidence pointing towards a black hole star scenario. Dense gas can block the X-rays being produced by the supermassive black hole. However, the lack of little red dots in the present-day universe implies that they likely shed their cocoons at some point. Are these little red dots in the James Webb Space Telescope observations? Yes, these are basically objects that we're seeing in the very, very early universe. And they started appearing with the emergence of the James Webb Space Telescope, which allows us to probe the early universe for the first time. To be honest, in the last few years, I got really annoyed from social media that I wanted to consume less of it, and I'm now finding more Kingdom Gems with content. Well, I hope I am also included in that. Thankfully, today's authors may have done exactly that. Dubbed the X-ray dot, they report the discovery of a little red dot-like object, which is also luminous in X-rays. Well, a redshift of 3.28 is not that early universe. This is roughly where the cosmic noon is, so after this point, galaxies sort of settled into their shapes that we see today. Before then, it was much more turbulent. So an artist's impression of the black hole star. So what we're seeing here is literally a black hole at the center, and then a dense spherical cocoon of gas similar to stars. And this cocoon of gas is very highly energetic. So supermassive black holes have accretion disks naturally, but in this instance there's a strong cocoon of gas, and it can actually be so energetic that it could heat up and ionize the surrounding region, and lead to fusion, and lead to light signatures that look very similar to stars. Gotta go sleep now. Enjoy the Astro, y'all. Well, thank you so much, Nova, for joining. I love your username as always, and thank you so much for stopping by, even after the whole radio astronomy stuff you were working on. Alright, so new James Webb Space Telescope observations of the X-ray dot. While archival observations of the X-ray dot with the Hubble Space Telescope, Canada, France, Hawaii Telescope, Spitzer Space Telescope, and Chandra X-ray Observatory existed, new spectral data from the James Webb Space Telescope was needed to study the system in depth. Spectral data has a huge advantage over photometric observations when it comes to modeling the system. So this is what I was mentioning before, and I'm actually planning to give a live lecture on this stream soon, about this idea that when we look at the light of objects, we can only gather it from a certain number of wavelengths. Spectral data, on the other hand, is a plot of how the energy of the object changes throughout all of its wavelengths. And that complete information can tell us everything, from the age of the object, to its distance, to its history, all of the above. And so that's why spectra is so much more important. Yes. And so with a good quality spectrum, astronomers can use modeling tools to try and pin down the physical nature of the emission we're observing. And so I guess that's what they're doing here. Figure 2 showcases the archival data from the Hubble Space Telescope, Spitzer, and the Chandra telescopes, along with the X-ray dot spectrum from the James Webb Space Telescope. Photometric observations of the source indicate that it is incredibly compact, and show similarities to little red dot spectra, but with some key differences. The impressive X-ray luminosity of the X-ray dot is another key difference between it and standard little red dots. Okay, so let's take a look at this spectra in detail. So this is the object here, and we got it in all these different filters. Wow, it looks like they just used this very similar color scheme and figure as the previous one, which makes sense because it's actually written, the first authors from the same institution, I think. Have they talked about these being direct collapsed black holes? No, although I did cover another stream. There was another black hole stream that I did with Astrobites where we did learn about direct collapsed black holes. And so this X-ray dot here in the black, and they're comparing it to these two other objects, a little red dot in the Ruby survey, which was from the first Astrobite we read today, and then a few other objects. And so, yes, so they're looking at these observations, which are these dots, and from that they were able to fit a spectra, which represents this line here. So let's keep on reading. Yes. So they compare it with two quasar spectra as well, which I think shows a little bit of similarities at the end here, but I mean, not that as many similarities at the start. So what's the deal with the X-ray dots? To understand the nature of the X-ray dot, authors fit a variety of models describing a wide range of physical systems to the available data. Surprisingly, their best fit models indicate that if the XRD is simply a typical AGN heavily obscured by astrophysical dust, its dust properties vary drastically from typical galaxies in AGN. So instead of trying to explain the system as a active galactic nuclei or supermassive black hole embedded in a cocoon of gas, provides better results, but still isn't perfect. Notably, the emission in the ultraviolet to optical regime of the electromagnetic spectrum differs greatly from that of little red dots. In little red dots, this emission is indicative of a single dense gas component around the supermassive black hole, while in the X-ray dot, the authors find evidence suggestive of a patchier, less uniform distribution of gas. However, in order for this explanation to match the data, physical conditions of the model may need to be further refined. These factors seem to suggest that oh my god, I cannot speak. X-ray dot is poorly understood in the context of our current paradigms of models describing AGN and LRDs. The potential patchy nature of the X-ray dot's gas envelope could suggest that this object is a little red dot in the process of shedding its outer envelope, evolving into a typical supermassive black hole. That is so interesting. So this could actually be in that middle evolutionary stage, which at the start of this talk, start of this Astrobite, we learned that is one of the things that we're trying to understand. How do the little red dots kind of phase into potentially typical supermassive black holes? Because we see a lot of little red dots in the early universe, and then they sort of evolve out. So regardless of its true nature, this X-ray dot opens up new doors in our understanding of active galactic nuclei and little red dots. We've got a lot of three-letter acronyms here. It provides an exciting glimpse at active galactic nuclei evolution in action, a transitional fossil for early universe black holes. With a new piece of the puzzle slotted into our picture of active galactic nuclei evolution, it's only a matter of time before astronomers fully contextualize the stubbornly enigmatic little red dots. That is super cool. I just checked the link that was sent in the Twitch chat. We finally caught a star turning directly into a black hole. Let me see what this is referring to. Oh, the paper is linked, which is helpful. Disappearance of a massive star in the Andromeda Galaxy due to the formation of a black hole. Oh, this is so cool. I will check this out. Thank you so much, Senko. Also, yes, I was gonna say, this is Anton, who I really, really like. That is super cool. Thank you so much for sending that. Whew. Huh. Well, that was a super... Oh! Thank you, Cass, for following! So thank you, Drew Lapierre, for writing this really exciting article. Oof, I am very dehydrated. Alright. Well, I hope you guys learned something new about black hole stars. Because honestly, prior to this stream, I also didn't know that much about them. So, yeah, no, this has been super duper cool. I love his content. I watch his videos for many years now. Yeah, no, he's been going around for quite some time now. So I think we have time to cover the highly requested, slightly cursed paper about the dark DNAs. Oh, let me resize this real quick. Prior to reading this, I did want to have a disclaimer. This is an example of a paper that is not accurate. It has been retracted. There is a statement on why it has been retracted. And one of the reasons why I wanted to cover this paper is because it was very controversial, for many reasons. Dark DNA black hole paper, parenthesis, this is not real science. So let me do this. Dark DNA black hole paper. Yeah, I just want to put that disclaimer out there. The what? Yeah, no, we are going over the cursed black hole paper. Before now, oh yes, I do know that I don't know how to pronounce it, Kyrgyzstan, did a video on black hole stars, which is super cool. Did that even have peer review, or was it published directly to the archive? No, it was actually published to an open access journal, the Open Access Macedonian Journal of Medical Sciences. They actually retracted quite a few papers. They actually wait, this is so interesting. They actually retracted this paper as a series of 5 papers that were retracted. And, I mean, I'm no biology expert, but recovery of brain in chick embryos by growing second heart and brain. A mathematical model for the signal of death and emergence of mind out of brain in Izhikevich neuron model. DNA waves. I think that's the topic of this. Oh, they were not directly connected. I'm not quite sure. Anywho. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, those are some wild titles. Yeah, I have some questions. Wait, I'm gonna quickly click on the chick embryo one. Actually, I'm gonna open all of these because I'm curious. Wait. Oh my god! Wait, I really hope this was not actually done. Injured a part of the brain in the head of the embryo is replaced with a healthy part of the brain. In the second method, the heart of a brain embryo dead is transplanted with the embryo heart? What? In this mechanism, new blood cells are merged in the bone marrow and transmit information of transplantation. Several years ago, some investigators proved the existence of a little brain in the heart which acts like a real brain in the head. What the heck? Oh my god, wait. Oh my god, I don't like looking at images of... See, this is why I can never do, like, biomedical research. I don't like looking at images of stuff like that. Okay. That's crazy that the citation is on the figure. That's really interesting. What is going on? Production of embryo from cells of patient. Neural tube. Formation of second brain for a patient. I wonder what diagram this is from. Transplantation injured part of brain with normal one. What the heck? Oh wait, no, that's an actual chicken. Okay, I was gonna say. Interesting. Let's see this other one. Signal of death and emergence of mind out of brain. I think this is pretty similar to what we're gonna cover in a minute. Wait, let me read the abstract. Okay. Yeah, this kind of goes to the DNA wave stuff. I guess this is kind of their, like, foundational paper for this DNA wave idea. Interesting figure. Interesting figure. Have you seen the chick embryo experiments turning on old genes where they grew tiny dino teeth again? What the heck? That sounds nasty. This is why I study plants. See, this is why I study space. This looks kind of like an Among Us. This is kind of a cool 3D plot, but I'm not sure why it's 3D. Okay, anyways, I don't know about those ones, but I've read this one in detail, so I'd be happy to cover this. Yeah, and it's Creative Commons, so we can also watch it on stream. Wait, why are science diagrams kind of memes? Wait, that reminds me, there was this joke April Fool's paper about the corner plot ad space. Wait, hold up. So, every year on April Fool's Day, a bunch of people release, like, joke papers. And the funniest one that I saw was this one. It was called Promo Plot. And the whole idea is that you have a lot of wasted space in your paper, especially for corner plots. And the suggestion was that you could have these plots, these corner plots like this, and use the rest of the space for, like, ad revenue. Wait, there was one with, like, 4 ads. Yeah! Example of how multiple ads can be used to fill the entire space left empty. To help get funding. Wait, it even, like, links to it. If you hover your mouse... Oh, it just only says Duolingo. Wait, that's so funny. I want to know about this bad paper now, though. Yeah, we're gonna read it in just a second. I just wanted to share this because I thought it was interesting for figures. The simple solution to science funding, exactly. Alright, so let's read this paper. So, interesting title. So let's read the abstract. Recently, some scientists at NASA have claimed that there may be a black hole-like structure at the center of the Earth. We show that the existence of life on the Earth may be a reason that this black hole-like object is... Sorry, I'm gonna make this a little longer. Is a black brain that has been formed from biological materials like DNA. Size of this DNA black brain is 109 times longer than the size of the Earth's core. I think they mean 10 to the 9 times longer. And compacted interior... Wait. Compact interior it. I don't think this is supposed to be here, but by compacting this long object, a curved spacetime emerges. and some properties of black holes emerge. This structure is the main cause of the emergence of the large temperature of the core, magnetic field around the Earth, and gravitational field for moving around the sun. Also, this structure produces some waves which act like topoisomerase in biology. I actually don't know that much about biology, so... and read the information on DNAs. However, on the four-dimensional manifold, DNAs are contracted at least 4 times around various axes, and waves of Earth couldn't read their information. While by adding extra dimensions on the 4+n dimensional manifold, the separation distance between particles increases and all the information could be recovered by waves. For this reason, each DNA has 2 parts, which one can be seen on the 4-dimensional universe, and another one has existed in extra dimensions, and only its E_ECTS is observed. This dark part of DNA is called as a dark DNA in an extra dimension. These dark DNAs not only exchange information with DNAs, but also are connected with some of the molecules of water and helps them to store information and memory. Thus, the Earth is the biggest system of telecommunication which connects DNAs, dark DNAs, and molecules of water. See, the thing is, this was 2019. August 2019. Back then, OpenAI, ChatGPT, I don't even know if ChatGPT was out yet. This was quite a few years ago. What in the schizophrenia is in this paper? It was retracted. Yeah, no, there is a statement of retractment at the top of the paper. Also, I'm gonna edit the Twitch stream link to make sure that new joiners are not confused. I'm just gonna just change this part, be like, reading pseudoscience paper on dark DNA and black holes. Ruh-roh. Yeah, no, this was before LLMs were really good, so this was not generated by AI. Pseudoscience, that's what they want you to think. Ruh-roh. Womp. Maybe this is more of a womp womp moment. They did retract it very shortly after, though. Sorry, I'm gonna drink some more water. Oh, hello, AI. Or A1A or whatever. I almost risked reading this groundbreaking paper. Yes, we are reading it right now. Let's read the introduction. The keywords also look very interesting. Black hole, telecommunication, Earth, dark DNA, and waves. Black holes and their related subjects are one of the main puzzles in science, which many scientists work on them. What? I feel like there's like a missing like sentence or something like that. Also, let me make chat a little bit smaller because I realize that this might be a little hard to read. Black holes and their related subjects are of main puzzles in science, which many scientists work on them. Okay, interesting. They released a bunch of other joke papers too, though I can't tell if it's a joke. I believe half the scientists on the paper are fake. Yeah, no, they did retract 5 other papers as part of this retractment as well. Physics of these objects is approximately known. That's crazy. Imagine me being like, ah yes, galaxies. Physics of these objects is approximately known. You know, the Big Bang, physics of that phenomenon is approximately known. However, they are lost. Interesting, and many cosmological detectors and telescopes try to find them. On the other hand, the concept of a black hole isn't limited to cosmology, and in some high-energy colliders, some objects may emerge that change space-time. These objects are known as TeV black holes. I don't know if they mean TeV, like Tera Electron Volt. Black holes are mini black holes that are formed from concentrating a large amount of energy in a small place at Large Hadron Collider. Wait, well, I learned today that Black hole factories exist in CERN. Apparently, you can actually create black holes at the Large Hadron Collider. I feel like reading this is going to cause a brain aneurysm. I know, right? I feel that too. Is this related to that guy that tried to sue to shut down CERN? Wait, what? I don't think it's related. I think this is just someone completely different. But I guess they also claimed it could create black holes that destroy Earth. Oh wait, what's going on? My model is broken. Boop. The black holes got to me. The black holes got to me. Walter... That's so interesting. Walter Wagner, a retired safety officer, and Louis Sancho, a science writer, filed suits in both the US and the European Court for Human Rights to halt the LHC's operation in 2008. They claimed that the collider would create micro black holes or strangelets that could consume the Earth. They make them at the scale of atomic masses, trying to get interesting physics to pop out. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't know that. That is really interesting. I'm gonna have a lovely stream and don't fall into any holes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the raid as well. I really appreciated that. And I'm glad all of you were able to stop by. Wait, Nep, before I forget, I'm going to message you real quick about doing the tarot card collab. Alright. Yeah, I actually didn't know that. That's actually really surprising. Well, let's go back to the top. Let's see. Although we... Wait. Where were we? We were up here. Thus, some black hole-like struck... Oh, whoa, my slides are also broken. Oh. Oh. Come on. Okay, there we go. We're back. Thus, some types of black hole-like structures could be observed on Earth. Newly, some scientists who work in NASA claim that there is a black hole at the center of the Earth, which is the main cause of the high temperature of the core magnetic field around the Earth. This idea may change some old beliefs about the formation of the Earth and solar system. In this model, the Earth is a planet that has been formed around a black hole. See, this is like black hole sun, but it's like black hole planet now. Night night, pretty lady. Ooh, thank you, Nap. Yeah, no, this is crazy. It has properties of that object in its core. In this paper, we show that this idea could have more results and help us to explore the origin of life. One of the main questions in science is about the relation between the inner core of the Earth, life, water, and waves. I feel like water and waves are kind of in the same category, though. Each of these subjects has its own puzzle's center, and all of them together make a more main puzzle. This is beautiful. For example, our knowledge about the inner core of the Earth isn't complete, and only limited information has been obtained from the waves of the earthquake. Well, I feel like we've been able to extrapolate a lot about the structure of the Earth from that. These considerations have shown that there is an equatorial anisotropy in the inner part of the Earth's inner core. Also, scientists have estimated the temperature of the inner core for the melting temperature of impure iron at the pressure which iron is under at the boundary of the inner core. What is going on? What? Also, scientists have estimated the temperature of the inner core from the melting temperature of impure iron at the pressure which iron is under at the boundary of the inner core. Was this translated? I wonder. Hello, Cass. Great to see you. This paper makes me dizzy. Welcome, first-time chatter. I promise you, typically our papers are more serious than this. But this has been highly requested. They have estimated its temperature as between 5,400 Kelvin and 5,700 Kelvin. Wait. Temperature of the Earth's interior. I don't think that sounds right, because the sun is like 6,000 degrees Kelvin. Oh wait, no, what am I... Wait, what? Wait. Oh no, it is 5,000 degrees Celsius at the core, at the center. Wait, I was just wrong here. See, look, we're learning stuff out of this paper. Because I know the sun's temperature on its outside is roughly 5,000. Yes, the coolest layer is around 5,000 Kelvin. But the core of the sun is like 15 million degrees Celsius. Yes, the surface of the sun is 5K, and the core of the Earth is 5K. I actually did not know that. See, we're learning new things right now. I also learned about black holes being able to be made in the particle detector. Almost as hot as Phoenix. Wow. Wait, when I visited Phoenix, it wasn't that hot though. However, in 2013, some others have obtained experimentally a higher temperature for the melting point of iron, 6,230. No units. I think they mean Kelvin here. The real reason for this high temperature is unclear. However, some scientists believe that some nuclear interactions occur interior of the core that is the main cause of high temperature. In parallel, the origin of life on the Earth and its relation with evolutions of the core is unclear. Also, there are some puzzles about controlling life by some special dark genes. This is such a tangent. Like, we just go into this, like, almost, like, potentially scientific conversation on the interior of the star. And then, now it says, also there are some puzzles about controlling life by some special dark genes that couldn't be observed and detected by present devices. These genes have been discovered by Hargreaves and his colleagues. They have encountered... Who's Hargreaves? There's no citation here either. They have encountered a dark part of DNA when sequencing the genome of the sand rat, a species of gerbil that lives in deserts. My brain hurts, no citation. Wait, I guess they have this one. Wait, I want to see what citation that is. Oh my god. Oh my god! The hunt for dark DNA? Was this ever retracted? What the heck? Whoa. Wait, there's no way. This is a real paper. What the heck? Wait, let me check the little Creative Commons. I don't know if I can stream this. I think it's get rights and content. Sorry, I'm quickly checking the copyright because I do really want to show this. Shoot, yeah, I don't know if I can show this, but wait, I'm gonna pull this up in just a moment. I think I can just screen share this article instead. Oh wait, yeah, the author is the same dude. Okay, yeah. So there was an article on New Scientist, which I haven't heard of that journal before, so that might be interesting. DNA sequencing technology, blah, blah, blah. Some animal genomes seem to be missing certain genes, one that appear in other species and must be present to keep the animals alive. These apparently missing genes have been dubbed dark DNA. My colleagues and I first encountered this phenomenon when sequencing the genome of the sand rat, a species of gerbil that lives in deserts. In particular, we wanted to study the gerbil's genes related to the production of insulin. The first clue was that in several of the sand rat's body tissues, we found that the chemical product that the instructions from the missing genes would create. We call the hidden sequence dark DNA as a reference to dark matter. But it doesn't actually have to do with dark matter. It's just saying it's called dark DNA because... Okay, am I smarter than the average reader? Let's see. I think it's just called dark DNA because it's referring to missing genes. It's not called dark DNA because it's made out of dark matter, which is what this paper is suggesting. So they summarize this paper. Yes, some of the missing genes. And without them, the animal cannot survive. Okay. Another puzzle in science. Okay, so we just covered the dark DNA's part. I am confused, and I'm yeah, no, I am also confused. Bizigi Baltair. Oh my god, that's me right now. No, Hargreaves apparently seemed to be a biologist. I don't know, I couldn't see any institutional information though. Another puzzle in science is the ability of molecules of water for exchanging information with DNAs and storing their information. The chemical structure of water is very simple and has no ability to store information. Thus, how these molecules communicate with other molecules and DNAs. What? Also, it seems that there is a relation between the molecules of water, earth, and DNA, because the water of rain has a better effect on plants and their growth. Maybe Nep can, maybe Nep can give some insight. Does the water of rain have a better effect on plants and their growth? I think we need Nep to help us out here. To respond to all these questions, we should design a model which explains the relationship between earth, water, and light. Someone please clip the water of rain thing. I need to show that to Nep. This paper is great. I'm fully on board. Yes, Splendor. We should design a model which explains the relationship between water, earth, and life. To this aim, we can use the ideas of scientists for the existence of a black hole at the center of the Earth. This black hole may be constructed from a DNA black brain with 109 times longer than the core of the Earth, which is compacted interior of the core. The number of excited states of this object is similar to the number of microstates of a black hole. However, its material is very similar to the material of a DNA. This structure produces a temperature around 6,000 degrees Kelvin, which is in agreement with the predicted temperature of the core. Also, this structure is the main cause of the emergence of the magnetic field around the Earth and... gravitational waves for moving around the sun. I think they meant the gravitational force for moving around the sun, because the gravitational waves are these like giant ripples of space-time created when two black holes merge. The first time you showed this, I was angry. No, now I can only laugh. Yeah, though these are certainly interesting words. We showed that the DNA black brain of the Earth is the biggest system of telecommunications, which exchange waves with all DNAs and molecules of water. Also, we introduced a new type of DNAs called dark DNAs on the 11-dimensional manifold. In fact, on the 4-dimensional manifold, DNAs are contracted at least 4 times around various axes, and waves of Earth couldn't read their information. However, by adding extra dimensions, the separation distance between particles increases and all of the information could be recovered by waves. Yes, the black hole... Yes, technically you're right. Gravitational waves are created for anything interacting with gravity, right? 11-dimensional manifold sounds like a killer death metal band. I would totally listen to that. I was recently recommended an album by the Foo Fighters, and it has this like really funky, like... I don't know if any of you guys are fans of the Foo Fighters, but it has this like really funky, like, it's called The Color and the Shape, and some of the songs are like kind of space themed. But the album cover looks like this. I don't know, I just thought it was super cool. I was just thinking about this because yeah, some of the songs are like space themed. Enough Space, February Stars. Sorry, that was such a tangent. Alright, so for this reason, each DNA has two parts, which one can be seen on the four-dimensional universe, and another one has existed in extra dimensions. And only it is effects. Oh god, it's like both its and... okay, well, I guess effects is okay. Can be observed. This extra dark part of DNA called as a dark DNA in an extra dimension. Waves of the Earth's DNA connect DNAs on a four-dimensional universe and dark DNAs in extra dimensions and act like topoisomerases in biology. These waves are different for males and females, and also different from linear waves which radiate by electronic devices. These waves are different for males and females. What? I told this to Kim the other day. Can I tell you? I'm not sure what you're referring to, but sure. I give up. Good night, chat. Good night, Z. Good night, give me stuff. Is your B field counterclockwise when viewed from above? I'm not sure what you mean. Like, my magnetic field? Were the Foo Fighters cancelled? What? I, for the record, know nothing about the Foo Fighters, other than the fact that I was recommended this one album. Oh, I love this song. I don't know if any of Foo Fighters experts can speak on this. I'm not sure. It's because of the lead singer. Because I'm giving you a thumbs up. Oh, because it's the right hand rule. Oh, that's kind of cute. I love that. Thank you so much, A, for enlightening me. What? Dave Grohl has an illegitimate kid. Interesting. Well, I know nothing about them other than their album art, which I thought looked pretty interesting. So, yeah. Well, I learned something new today. Actually, I learned many new things today. So, okay, let's keep on reading. On the other hand, experiments show that radiative waves of the Earth interact with molecules of water and store information in their memory. The memory of water is in contradiction to its chemical structure. Thus, there should be extra dark DNAs related to the molecules of water that help them in storing information and exchanging waves of DNAs of the Earth. This means that molecules of water could have gender-like DNAs. On the other hand, the Earth could emit some special waves to molecules of water and extract DNA black brain from extra dimensions. This could be the origin of life on Earth. Thus, Earth, water, and DNA form the best system of telecommunication, which controls all evolutions of life. Alright. The emergence of a magnetic field, gravitational wave, and high temperature of Earth's core by a DNA black brain. Oh my god, I needed to show this. Oh yeah, they also meant 10 to the 9, times longer than the core of the Earth. Induce DNA black brain interior of the core by imaging all DNAs on its meta? Wait, it's starting to make sense. Always a good day when you learn things, that is true. The MS Paint bucket fill tool, I'm not sure what they use for this. I feel like some of the text has gotten a little blurred out here. I think they meant for this to refer to Earth. Also, this is, I think they get a little bit mathy in here. We're probably not going to read this whole thing in full. Also, it's getting pretty late. The stream has been going on for quite a long time. Oh, I also remembered I have to gift memberships. I will do that at the end of the stream. First, we calculate the Hamiltonian of one DNA, and then we generalize it to a DNA black brain. Each DNA is formed from hexagonal and pentagonal molecules. Wait, I think this is accurate. This is an accurate diagram of DNA. Actually, I'm wondering, are there any biologists in the chat that can just like look at this and confirm this is right? But this looks mostly right to me. ATCG. Oh, I don't remember which one's like the 5 and the 3 end. Also, each hexagonal and pentagonal molecule is formed from 6 or VE strings. I love how the arrow here, like they could have just used an arrow like from like they could have copied and pasted a text arrow or like actually imported an arrow, but I think this is like hand drawn. They probably stole this one from a legitimate textbook. Actually, it looks like there is a citation. No, this is from their own. What? What? There's more. They published in Physica A. I don't know what that is. Shoot, I don't think I can. Let me check the copyright real quick. I would like to. Oh my god. Post on a website. Reuse, rent this content, reuse. Post on a website, sure, that's the closest to what I'm doing right now. Oh my god, I have to pay. Okay, yeah, no, we're not doing that. But it looks like they wrote another paper called The Relation Between Solace Entropy of DNA Brain's Exterior and Interior of Shell. Wait, let me see if I can pull it up through PDF and maybe they have some description on this. And this one wasn't even retracted. Oh my god. I feel like I've just discovered like a major like... I don't know if any of you guys have watched this show, The Chair Company, but I just finished watching it and I feel like I've just like... I feel like I'm in that show right now. Yeah, they published in a whole bunch of places and wrote quite a number of papers, yeah. I have so many questions. But this is from that paper. Oh my god, I'm going to totally go on a rabbit hole down this later after stream as well. I shared my findings a while back in your Discord, I think. Oh my god, really? Wait, I'll definitely have to check that out. Feel free to like tag me or repost or like forward it again so I can see it. That is so interesting. Actually, that does sound familiar. I think I may have seen that from you. AA1A. Well, it gets a little bit mathy after this point, and I don't know if my voice can handle reading all the math, but yeah, I think this figure is also from the other paper. They do some math to show that the dark DNA is like different for the males instead of the females. Wait, what are they doing with the tensor here? Wait, these are like... What? These are like the raising and lowering like tensors, if I recall correctly. Let's go math. Yeah, no, this is really weird. The magnetic field of the Earth can be obtained by summing over the magnetic fields of pentagonal and heptagonal manifolds. This magnetic field depends on the topology of DNA. And for example, for a DNA with the gender of male, the magnetic field is different respect to the DNA with the gender of female. We use a normal thermal distribution, which is used for Bose-Einstein correlation statistics. What? What is going on? Oh my god, this is my favorite figure in this paper. Temperature of DNA black brain in terms of its size. So the temperature, I'm hoping this is Kelvin. As we approach 1000000, and I guess this is 10 to the 9 here, we're getting a temperature of 6,000 degrees Kelvin. Yeah, okay, wait, let's see. It's clear that for a DNA black brain with a size around 10 to the 9 times longer than the core of the Earth, the temperature will be around 6,000 degrees Kelvin. This temperature is in agreement with the predicted temperature for the core. It is concluded that a DNA black brain with 10 to the 9 meters, which is compacted interior of core, can produce all known physics of the Earth. Yeah, the scale is definitely... The scale is definitely interesting. Wait, let me... Oh my god, inside the bizarre publishing ring. Oh my god, wait, I'm gonna pull this up right now. Oh my god. We're gonna quickly read this. Thank you so much for introducing me to this article. I was gonna say, I was like, I'm finding more papers like this. I don't know if this is like a weird conspiracy. An international group of scientists, some seemingly well-credentialed, have been publishing prolifically in obscure scientific journals, occurring hundreds of co-authorships over the past several years. The only problem, most of the studies they publish don't make any sense. One paper titled 5G Technology and Induction of Coronavirus in Skin Cells was retracted in late July after it received widespread criticism from scientists on social media for being shoddy pseudoscience. The diagrams featured clip art, and one showed two vertical arrows labeled tower, casting what the authors label as millimeter waves and... Oh, like they didn't even spell millimeter right. And radio waves onto a cell. An arrow exits from the cell and points at a drawing of a virus which has been labeled COVID-19. After that paper was retracted, the journal posted a notice on its original landing page saying that the article showed evidence of substantial manipulation of the peer review. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. How were these papers approved for peer review? Of the hundreds of publications put out by these authors, at least a dozen contain the same kinds of fantastical claims. Oh yeah, the black hole one, yeah. Which claims on the website that all of its studies are peer-reviewed. After Motherboard reached out to the editor of the Open Access Macedonian Journal of Medical Sciences. Oh, they were the reason why the 5 articles were retracted the next day. The editor did not respond to a request for comment. The author's public profiles range from essentially non-existent to seemingly normal. Some have institutional affiliations and co-edit a journal from a major academic publisher. Interviews with the co-authors, representatives from journals, and experts in scientific fraud did little to clarify a confusing web of motives for why these bizarre papers exist. Seems sus. I'd have kept going in academia if I had known it was this easy to get published. Well, honestly, I'm not sure about these journals that were involved in this publication, but I promise you that the peer review process is taken very seriously. Yeah, seems sus. Yeah, 100%. The papers go beyond the stated expertise, and they've involved decapitating birds and growing bacteria in milk. Oh yeah, this is the author of the black hole paper. It's a cardiologist by training, and his affiliation is with this university's Department of Nuclear, Subnuclear, and Radiation Physics. Lottie is a dermatologist. Both are co-authors of the 5G paper and have published prolifically. Many of these letters, other co-authors have co-authored dozens of letters to the editor. Many of these papers at least tangentially relate to the field of dermatology, but others including Predatory Journals, The Silent Intruder, and COVID-19, A Relationship to Climate and Environmental Conditions do not. Yeah, that's crazy. We're all so tired. Wow. Well, thank you so much for bringing this to my attention, A. Yeah, no, this is crazy to me. Yeah, formation of a system of telecommunication. Oh god. Topology of a system by adding some extra strings and extra dimensions, changing strings to a circle. I don't know how they're doing this visualization in 4 dimensions, but 1 is equal to the number n circle, the number of microstates for a circle which is produced by joining dark DNA waves of DNA, is equal to n DNA times n wave times n dark DNA. Oh my god, no, this is one of my favorite figures in this. I am a firm believer that when you have figures, each figure needs to share a story. Each figure needs to have a clear message. And here, this figure is proposedly showing dark DNA in extra dimensions. But I feel like this visual is missing a little bit of context. In particular, it's showing that the dark DNA in extra dimensions is a flipped and rotated version of the 4-dimensional DNA. It's supposed to show that the waves connect DNA in 4 dimensions to dark DNAs in extra dimensions and deform their topology, open their coilings, and transfer them to circles, but I don't see that happen here. I shall share other curiosities I find whenever. Thank you so much. Wait, what? They literally just copied and pasted a part of a paper. Extra dimensions is equal to upside down, so Australia is in another dimension. That sounds about right to me. That sounds about right to me. Relation between... This is very similar to the previous figure. Molecules of water is related to dark DNAs with the gender of female. Molecules of water is related to dark DNAs with a gender of male. So it's B down and B up? Emergence of life by waves of the earth in pure water. What? The biggest system of telecommunication from dark DNA, black brain, interior of core, DNAs on earth, dark DNAs in extra dimensions, and molecules of water. So this is the final system that they're proposing. That all of these elements are able to talk to each other. The DNA at the core, the DNA, the molecules of water on the earth, the DNA in 4 dimensions, the dark DNA in the extra dimensions, and waves. Hello, Carbon! Good seeing you, good seeing you. We're reading this really cursed paper on dark DNA and black holes. It was retracted. It is not real science. I found this paper like when it first came out back in like 2019. And yeah, you love handcrafted figures. I mean, I think this one is absolutely beautiful as well. It's good seeing you. As in, it was published. Yeah, we just read this like article by Vice about how there were actually like 5 papers that were retracted from this one journal, but they also had like around a dozen like other papers that were in journals that claimed that were peer-reviewed. Hello, Daksh. And hello, Memil. I'm so sad that this publishing site doesn't have any papers on the natural production of antimatter that can be found in bananas. I don't know, maybe you might, you can tip the authors of this paper. Maybe they might be interested in that. Because they were very interested about, I think they had one about dark matter and stuff in like embryos of chicken or something. Yeah, very interesting stuff. Alright, so conclusion. In this paper, we have shown that the Earth's core is the biggest system of telecommunication, which exchanges waves with all DNAs and molecules of water. Imaging of DNAs on the interior of the metal of the core produces a black DNA brain with around 10 to the 9 times longer than the core of the Earth, which is compacted and creates a structure similar to a black hole or black brain. We have shown that this DNA black brain is the main cause of high temperature of core and magnetic of Earth. Also, this structure produces gravitational fields of Earth and leads to the motion of the Earth around the sun. We have argued that DNA black brain of Earth exchange some nonlinear waves with DNA and recover their information. The shape of these waves depends on the topology of DNAs and are different for DNAs of males and females. Each DNA is compacted several times around various axes, and reading its information is hard. However, by adding extra dimensions to 4 dimensions of the universe, the separation distance between elements of DNAs increases, and waves of Earth could recover their information. Thus, each DNA has an extra dark part in extra dimension, which we call them dark DNAs. These extra parts couldn't be observed, however their effects can be seen. DNA black brain of the Earth's core exchange waves with both dark and light parts of DNA, connect them. These waves are different for males and females, and play the role of topoisomerases. Yeah, they spelled axes correctly here, that's good. On the other hand, our calculations and experiments show that these waves interact with the molecules of water. However, the chemical structure of water is very simple and can't store any information. This means that there are some extra dark DNAs on the 4+n dimensional manifold which are related to molecules of water and play the role of memory for it. These dark DNAs have gender like other DNAs and give properties of gender to molecules of water. On the other hand, DNA black brain of the Earth could emit some special waves to molecules of water and extract dark DNAs from extra dimensions. This means that the origin of life could be a system of telecommunication which is formed by the DNA black brain interior of the Earth, dark DNAs, waves, and molecules of water. Light DNA? Yeah, I think that's referring to like normal DNA. Yeah, no, this is great. This is beautiful. This paper is amazing. I also wanted to give the disclaimer once again that this paper was retracted. This is not real science. This is pseudoscience. But wait, I'm so glad we were able to cover this. Oh my god, we're almost approaching the 3-hour long mark, Orbeez. I think this genuinely might be the longest stream I've ever done. Can we submit our own pseudosciences? Well, if you have a paper that you'd like me to cover in the next video, please do let me know. 5 out of 7. Perfect. Yeah, no, this is great. This is absolutely amazing. We did it. We finally read the Cursed Dark Matter paper, Black Brain paper. This is great. Alright, well, this stream has gone on for long enough. So before we continue, if I actually don't know how gift memberships are given, but Z's gonna turn to a pumpkin. I think I might actually invert myself. But I am going to be gifting memberships, so I do have a quick announcement. My next stream will be on Friday in the morning. So if you are evening Pacific time folks, then that means that this might be the last time you see me live for a little bit, because I will be taking a quick break for about like a week and a half. Yeah, it's gonna be in the morning of Pacific time, probably around 9 a.m. Pacific time. And the reason for that is because I will be playing Kerbal Space Program before my departure. It's actually crazy because I'm actually flying out that day, so we'll see how that goes. But basically, we will be playing Kerbal Space Program with a very special guest, which has been, if those of you from the start of the stream have still been here, none other than the birthday boy who was in the chat earlier. I'm sure some of you have been maybe able to guess who it might be. Also a fellow streamer. Has recently been doing a lot of really interesting astrophysics videos recently, actually. So that will be on Friday morning, and then, yeah, I'll be on a quick break. So I will see you all then, though I did want to do an evening stream for those of you who cannot catch that one. And so without much further ado, imagine if this was the first paper you ever read. I actually don't know what the first paper I ever read was. I don't know if I can even remember that. Alright. Actually, let's send 5 now, and then I'll send 5 for the next stream. Does that sound good, Orbeez? So, these gift memberships on YouTube will give up to 1 month of access for the Red Saber Giant perk, so you'll be able to read my weekly Z-mail where I give more personalized life updates. Z leaves us alone a lot. Yeah, no, I definitely have been traveling a lot more than I anticipated this break. This time. Z-mail. Yes, no, Z-mail's great. Z-mail's great. Alright, we are about to send the 5 gift membership, so we'll see who it is. Drum roll, please. Drum roll, please. Hopefully at least one of these are in chat right now. Oh, it's loading. It's loading. Alright, 5 gift memberships. Oh my god, well, I know Arky was in chat. Congratulations, Architelos, Pizza Man, Uriel, Warlord, and Black Knights, for receiving your gift membership. Yes, and Arky, you just got one, so congratulations, yippee, yippee. And then I'll send the other 5 during the next stream. Yippee! Alright, well, I think it's about time that we wrap up. I'm going to quickly see who is streaming on Twitch right now that we can raid into. Let's see. Oh, someone's doing a co-working stream for machine learning. Oh, that's so cool. Yeah, we're definitely going to raid this individual. RWX Rob. I've been finding a lot of creators from the Knowledge Fellowship, which is like this group of scientific communicator streamers on Twitch, most of which are flesh tubers. While YouTube having to pay for memberships, on Twitch we get those for free. Oh my god! Thank you so much, Matt, for the $5 donation. Thanks, Z. Well, thank you so much for joining on this incredibly long stream. We are approaching the 3-hour mark in just under a minute, which I think has to be my new record. So, I know, I don't... That's kind of crazy to say, because I feel like Twitch streamers on average go for like 8 hours or something crazy, but... unfortunately, that has not been possible for me, but I guess my stream times are increasing a little bit. Alright, well, without much further ado, as we approach the 3-hour mark, if you're on YouTube, please go hop on over to Twitch, and we are going to raid the Knowledge Fellowship. It's this group of science-y streamers. Oh, I think my voice is going out too. I've been talking for a really long time. Can I leave you with one more I just found? It's not remote, it's a very Z. Yeah, real quick, if you have anything you'd like to cover in the last minute or so. Twitch streams can go for 48 hours before the VOD cuts. YouTube can only do 12 hours, so the different worlds. Yeah, no, that is very fair. Although, I think streaming for 48 hours would be wild. Drink, please, yeah. I actually ran out of water here. It's Vtuber, but for flesh tubers? No. It's definitely much more casual. It's like, it's not like Vtuber is kind of like a group. Like, even though we're not like an agency in a way, where we're a group and we like collaborate and talk together, I think that the Knowledge Fellowship, they also collaborate and talk together. But I think their whole premise is that they're much bigger. I think that it's actually like dozens of streamers that make it up. And its purpose is to help connect people to find each other.
But you would never know you left a scar over my heart, over my heart.
Subathon being a 24-hour stream is surprisingly common on Twitch. That is true, that is true. Although, I don't know if I'd ever have the ability to do that. You know how you wear the CMB? I'm also like the CMB, except I'm always radiating love towards you. Well, thank you so much, eh? You can always break it up? That is true. I don't know. I feel like my like energy levels, I feel like wouldn't be able to last for 24 hours. Unless, maybe that's why a lot of Twitch streamers have to drink like Red Bull and stuff like that. Alright, well, I do probably need to head out soon, and or my voice is going to go out, and then there won't even be a stream on Friday, or I'm going to be sounding like, I'm going to be sounding like this. I'm going to be sounding like this. Just do what you can. Thank you, Carvin. I know, Carvin, you kind of do longer streams, though, if I recall correctly. My usual limit was 3 hours when I do funnies. Been a while, though. Oh, interesting. I didn't know you stream. That's really cool. Alright, well, for those of you on YouTube, please go hop over to the Twitch side, and we are going to go raid RWX Rob. Alright, so let's get ready to raid. Just getting Z the bucket of Zoffy. I've been drinking Earl Grey tea recently. I feel like the caffeine drop? Like the caffeine spike is like more gradual over time. Anywho, thank you all so much for joining. So sorry about going on so many tangents, but I don't know if I should even apologize because I feel like we had so much fun. Thank you to all the NEP and side area raiders. This was so much fun. I will see you guys on Friday. I hope you learned something new about black hole stars, about sussy dark DNA black hole papers. This was a lot of fun, and I will see you guys in the next one. So, till then, stay healthy, stay safe. Bye-bye! Bye-bye! Bye!